This is Dragons Live.
Minnesota State University Moorhead, WDAY Xtra, and Dragon Athletics are proud to present Minnesota State University Moorhead Dragons football. It's the season opener for 2018 as the Dragons host Minnesota Crookston. It looks like the rain is going to hold off tonight. It's a bit breezy, but it is a great atmosphere. And good Thursday night to you and welcome. My name is Steve DeStacio, along with an old friend of mine, my former broadcast partner and new television commentator, Don Groth. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be back in the booth and having fun, of course, around Dragon football. Can't have anything but fun. So.
What do you
even with these clouds right now, Steve? The sun always shines on the Dragons.
What are you most looking forward to this Dragon season?
Well, I think a bounce back for sure from last year. Some injuries, some different things happened last year, but this year I think they've got youth on their side. There's going to be mistakes, but I think they can overcome those things with just pure grit.
48 freshmen on this roster. This
Right?
This class is young. There are some of the Dragons now. But Steve Lockway, I mean, that's the thing about college football is there is graduation. It's part of the system. You don't play at a place for 10 or 15 years. I'm excited to see this new crop of Dragons.
Oh, for sure. And there's a lot of great talented pieces to the puzzle that are here. And Steve and his crew have done a great job of recruiting. They've got some size in some important areas, and they have speed. I think that's a really, really big thing for the Dragons. Playing on this turf, last year it was a lot of fun. So the last 2 years on this turf, now you're recruiting for speed also.
Larry Scott, who was in your shoes for such a long time, was out there for the ceremonial coin toss. I know Alexis Kennedy is going to talk to our guy Scotty a little bit later. Now, without Larry Scott, let's go downstairs to Alexis Kennedy.
Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Scheels Field, another year of Dragon football. Don Groth, I want to welcome you to our broadcast. Also, a little bit on the weather here. We're looking at about 18 miles per hour wind, so it might have a little bit of effect on the play tonight. Guys?
Oh, it's awesome. Evening games, I mean, it's just fun. Absolutely a blast.
The Dragons are in their red uniforms, white trim. Minnesota Crookston in their whites with maroon trim. Minnesota Crookston will kick with this wind, Don. You were talking about the clouds. The rain's going to hold off, but we have a breeze blowing from our right to our left at about 20 miles an hour here tonight.
Yeah, 20, 22 miles an hour. The gusts up to 30 still. Hopefully those are going to die down as we get into this game and we can see that ball up in the air a little bit.
Jared McLemore ready to put it in the air for Minnesota Crookston. And the 2018 season is underway. Line drive kick, Grady Bresnahan's going to grab it inside the end zone, and the Dragons are going to start their own 25-yard line. So let's take a look at our keys to the game, Don. Start the season fast. Get off to a good start against Minnesota Crookston.
Oh, most definitely. They need to come out racing up and down the field, score first, score often. We also want to look at that for the Dragons. They need to focus at the task at hand. This is a team they need to beat, and they're going to have to give big support to young quarterback.
Bryce Meal getting the start. It was announced about a week ago that Bryce Meal was going to get the start over Jacob Sinani, who played 4 games last year. You start him off with confidence as he goes quickly to Grady Bresnahan.
Right, just a quick hitter. He's in the shotgun anyway. He's got 1 step, and he just delivered the ball on a strike.
There's your starters for the Dragons. Tyler Lazars, the center out of Illinois, number 74, anchoring the Dragon offensive line, but they couldn't do anything on 2nd and 10 as Herman Gray trying to play an injury-free season. Don, I know you've been following the Dragons since you played here back in the 80s. Herman Gray can do special things if he gets some support and stays healthy.
Oh, most definitely. Healthy Herman Gray means yards, upfield, and he's got great shifty hips, and he's got breakaway speed. So if we can just give him a few little creases, it should be a good day.
Like there, and he's going to get the first down. He needed 13. This is one of the Achilles heels of Minnesota Crooks, and they can't get off the football field.
Right, and that was just some great offensive play and line play up front. They blasted a hole wide open, and Herman took advantage of it.
So the Dragons move the sticks here at the 13:40 mark, just underway, first quarter. 1st and 10, MSU Moorhead. Meal gives it to Herman Gray again. This time he's tackled by Will Cross, good middle linebacker out of Turtle Lake, Wisconsin.
Excellent. He is one of their stalwarts. He's been starting for a couple of years, and he's a thick kid. He puts a good lick on a guy.
Inside give, and again, Herman Gray goes nowhere. As he got thumped that time by Devin Nuttall, junior defensive tackle out of Plymouth, Minnesota. Don, those keys to the games, or to the game that you gave us, were sponsored by BSN, one of the Dragons' new sponsors this season. When you look to apparel, Meal with time over the middle. That's a first down. Bresnahan takes a huge hit and then gets a first down. That's impressive to see by Grady Bresnahan at just 5'9", 168.
And the big hit was put on by Will Cole, big safety for the Golden Eagles. He is another one of those guys that you're going to hear a lot about today, the Will and the Will.
Will Cross.
And Will Cole.
1st and 10 for the Dragons. Twice they've converted. Back up the middle. Big run. There goes Herman Gray. Gone. He'll go 53 yards. And just like that, the Dragons are on the board.
That's what we talked about. Got to score early, got to score often. And that is the explosion that we have with Herman Gray. When he's healthy, he hits the hole. The guys broke it open, and he went right up the middle on a straight give.
So at the 12:14 mark, Joe Chesvold, who was here 2 years ago, has returned back. It's like you reappearing back in the booth.
Joe's a great kid,
yes,
too.
Juan
Awesome kid.
All kickers are, you know that.
Yeah.
Juan Albuquerque was in last year, did a nice job. Chesvold, the transfer from South Dakota State, boots it through. Just like that, the Dragons are on the board. Take us through. There's the business end of the Herman Gray touchdown run.
Exactly. His explosion, when he hit that hole, it was wide open, and the offensive line did a great job of splitting the defense. They also suckered that middle linebacker in and were able to just shadow block him off. He didn't even have a chance as Herman Gray's speed took over.
Still trying to think of the big play on that drive. Obviously the Herman Gray touchdown run, but you got the 3rd down conversion by Herman Gray on 3rd and 13 when I think Steve Lockway just maybe was conceding the set of downs, or the Grady Bresnahan fighting off Cross to get the first down.
Right. I'll give it to Brady on that, as he came across the middle, made the grab, and just got rocked by Cole. Will Cole gave him a snot blocker. It was terrible. Knocked him around, but he kept his feet, gained the 2 extra yards to get that first down. Then the next down, Herman Gray goes 53 yards.
Watch out for number 1, who's back deep, along with Anthony Cooper. Rod Stewart is one of the most explosive players in this league. Chesvold, a high short kick. Stewart grabs it at the 23-yard line. The wind got a hold of it. He gets grabbed, and he's going to be taken down by Devontae Del Brune, the Moorhead, Minnesota product, playing special teams along with his brother Malik. And now we're going to see this Minnesota Crookston offense for the first time.
Minnesota Crookston, they're going to try to bounce back on the offensive side of the ball too this year. Jeremy Newman actually is not going to be starting tonight, Steve.
Jalen Scott, we were told, a last-minute substitution. He hurt his arm yesterday during walkthrough, so Jalen Scott, a junior out of Houston, Texas, is starting at number 5 for Minnesota Crookston. He wants to put it up. He'll throw near side. It's complete. That's Jonathan Mudd, a junior out of Gardena, California. 7-yard pickup. Good start for the Golden Eagles.
Same thing that the Dragons did right away. All they did was one step, drop, and had a quick hitter.
There's the Dragons' defensive alignment. You'll notice Michael Strand has been moved up to a linebacker. Why? To get him inside get him in more plays. That's what Steve Lockway said. He's that good out of Barnesville, Minnesota. It's 2nd and 3 for Minnesota Crookston here with 11:45 remaining in the first quarter. Scott bobbles the snap, gets away. He's shifty, and he's going to get a first down, tackled by Aaron Doan, a senior out of Century High School out in Bismarck.
Bad snap on that, and I think the timing actually worked in the favor of the Golden Eagles as our defense kind of stood up real quick as that ball went straight up in the air off the quarterback's hands.
First and 10. Rod Stewart in motion. Scott gets hit, and he's going to get flattened. That looked like another busted play, but you could see all the attention that Rod Stewart was gathering.
And the Dragons brought a nice blitz on that as Matthew Domek from his defensive end came right through. He makes the tackle, but on the inside, you just had Hunter Saul just blowing things up.
Dragons put 6 in the box. Scott looks over at his offensive coordinator, Jared Hiddle. Throw, far side, complete. Another short gain as it goes to Jonathan Mudd at about the 46-yard line, Don. This will bring up a 3rd and 7. Now we'll see if the Dragon defense could do what Minnesota Crookston's defense could not.
And getting off the field right now, of course, is all important on this 3rd down. Or at least get it to 4th down and long so that they have to punt.
Long count. Scott back. To his right. Strand, there he is, making the tackle, along with Matthew Domek. He's wearing Aaron Bolzall, number 44. That's why Michael Strand is playing linebacker, not safety anymore.
Right, and that's a good move because Strand has unbelievable nose for the ball. And when he was playing safety, you're looking at 7, 8, 9, 10 plays a game. Now he can be involved in 20, 25 plays a game.
This is one of the good kickers in the league, Stephen Day. He was 5th in the NSIC last year. He had a lot of practice. He drops it here, and now he gets off a knuckleball. This is going to wobble around the 20-yard line and be down at the 18-yard line. Minnesota Crookston is playing with fire so far tonight. There's our coach's comparison. Steve Lockway, you can see what the Dragons did last year. Mark Duffner still looking for his first win as head coach of Minnesota Crookston.
Right, and that last win was back in November of 2015.
Yes, they have gone 2 seasons without a win. They've gone 10 seasons without a win on the road. The last road win in the NSIC for Minnesota Crookston. Here's Herman Gray again. Why not give him the ball every time? He'll get taken down by Will Cross, the middle linebacker, who's busy already. A 42-38 victory in November of 2007. So it's been a while for Minnesota Crookston.
No doubt about that. And I'm sure that Coach Duffner is looking right here tonight to try to get off the schneid.
Gray again. He'll tumble down at about the 25-yard line. So the Dragons trying to work the inside, as that time Gray was taken down by Joe Warner, a junior out of St. Louis Park, Minnesota. He was tabbed to be an offensive lineman, but Minnesota Crookston will take good players and play them where they need them.
Oh, yeah. You bring in talent and find a place to play them.
Swing pass, Gray. Can he get the first down? No. Good tackle that time. On the far side of the field by Brock Harris. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Will Cole again. That time he completed the tackle. What he didn't do against Bresnahan, watch it again. Mio couldn't find anyone downfield. Went through his progressions, and then there's the chop down by Cross. That's a terrific open field tackle.
Yeah, Cole's quick on his feet, and he reads the play very well. He came up from his safety position.
Blake Oxendorf to punt it, kicks it into this wind. This is a high end-over-end kick that comes down. You know what? They kept the ball out of the hands of Rod Stewart, and he had a 94-yard touchdown return for touchdown last year. Minnesota Crookston only had 128 yards. They got 94 on a kickoff return. So Rod Stewart's one of the best kickoff returners in the league. The problem is he gets a lot of practice because Minnesota Crookston gives up so many points. So pretty good field position for the Golden Eagles. 1st and 10, their own 43-yard line. 7 minutes, 43 seconds remaining. First quarter, opening night from Nemzik. Scott, again flushed, and he's got room. Strand can't take him down. He'll take a huge hit that time by Casey Paskey, but not after Scott gets 10 yards and a first down. Don, appreciate this right there. Oh boy, he got high load. It wasn't just Paskey. It was also Matt Show, the sophomore inside linebacker, number 33 out of Winona. 1st and 10. Scott back and on his way. He'll get upended by Michael Strand. You talk about a nose for the ball.
Well, for sure, and he held his ground and did not get out of position. As the defense for the Dragons, the defensive line is doing a great job. They have flushed him out now 3 times in a row, and that means that the defensive backs are doing their job because quarterback has nowhere to throw the ball.
With that clock that they talk about, that clock that goes off in the quarterback's head, it's one and got to go. Option, they get the ball into Stewart's hands. There goes Rod Stewart. Boy, he got clotheslined out of bounds by Jerry Ray. The senior cornerback out of Bellflower, California, 4-year player, 3-year starter, and I think we're about to hear from Jim Hardy for the first time tonight.
Face mask for the defense. Number 23, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Just like the Dragons, like Herman Gray, Minnesota Crookston loves Rod Stewart.
And they need to have him their playmaker. He needs the ball 10, 15, 20 times a game if they can. Via the pass, this time it was on the option.
Yep.
They need to get it in his hands.
I love the play call. You can't throw it to him. You might as well get it to him somehow. He's lined up in the slot to the right this time. Now we'll go in motion. Scott, give. Up the middle goes Elijah Todd, a junior out of Toledo, Ohio. Made his way to Crookston somehow.
They have kids from all over the country.
Yes.
Texas. I mean, come on. It's amazing how they recruit and get the kids up to Crookston. Now they just need to keep them there and build on that. That was a nice run by Todd.
I thought Minot State had the most diverse as far as regional or national roster. Minnesota Crookston's up there as well. It's 2nd and 3, down to 5:39 remaining first quarter. Scott flushed out again. Jukes goes over Paskey and makes his way down to the 3-yard line. 9-yard pickup. Scott's doing a pretty doggone good job so far, as you see probably a concerned Steve Lockway on the Dragons sideline.
Well, I think just the simple fact that his athleticism is what's made this drive happen. He's been flushed out almost every time he's wanted to throw the ball. They've run the option a couple times. This time, again, he just found his way out there and picked up positive yardage.
The crowd trying to help this Dragon defense. Here's a pitch. It's Rod Stewart. He'll go nowhere. He met Matthew Domick on the near side. I think Domick that time might have been the Rod Stewart spy as he sniffed him out from the get-go.
Yeah, they took him in motion, fairly quick motion, and a quick pitch from Scott, the quarterback. We're going to see it right here. There again, trying to make the edge out there.
Did you see Michael Strand? He didn't make the tackle, but he was running laterally. He was, what, containment?
Oh, of course.
Is that discipline from a kid who's used to playing safety? He's used all or nothing. Kept his discipline that time. Scott has some room to run. He'll twist and turn and fumble the ball. And Crookston hopped on top of it. Donna was one of the linemen that jumped on top of it. It was Ryan Radcliffe, the junior right guard at 6'2", 290 out of Bloomer, Wisconsin.
Big kid that was pulling from his guard position. Now he comes into the play and picks up the loose ball laying on the carpet.
Did you see Scott carry the ball? He was carrying the ball like you were carrying your slice of pizza before the game. Just
with one hand.
If you want that, with one hand. If you want that piece of pizza, you better cling on to it. They're going to throw into the end zone for Stewart, incomplete. Jerry Ray and Shea Shadvita were in the end zone on coverage, and it's 4th down. It looks like Minnesota Crookston's going to try a field goal, which to me is odd because you've got the wind. If you don't score, you could pin the Dragons up against it. But they're going to bring in Jared McLemore out of Lucas, Texas, and his 20-yard field goal is good. 7-3 as we'll take a break. 3:23 remaining here in the first quarter from Scheels Field.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Dave Eggers at 218-233-1334 today.
7-3. Oh, boy, I didn't see this. That's a nice crowd that's assembled below us.
Oh, for sure. It's a beautiful night. A little cloudy, but...
Come on with the clouds.
That's it. That's all they are. There's no rain or anything. Come on out. There's still time. And I know they have some tickets left over, so you might as well come out and enjoy a game. This is going to be a good game. 7-3. Crookston, they came out, the Golden Eagles, and they did what they needed to do, and that is get on the scoreboard.
This is the 20th matchup. Minnesota Crookston has not had a lot of wins since 1999 when they came into the league.
Mm-hmm.
They've beaten the Dragons 7 times, 7 out of 19.
That's a few too many. The Dragons here tonight did it in quick fashion in 2 minutes and 56 seconds, or 2 minutes and 46 seconds. They went 7 plays, 75 yards with that 53-yard touchdown run by Herman Gray. And then the Golden Eagles on their scoring drive, 9 plays, 52 yards, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. And the 22-yard field goal by McLemore. Now we've got a little delay here. I'm not sure.
The play clock wasn't working, so Rob Hunt, it's not as if he doesn't have enough on his plate. Former NDSU Bison, terrific, All-American, had some sips of coffee with the New Orleans Saints and the Denver Broncos of the National Football League.
Yep.
And some arena football, and now he's offensive coordinator. He was defensive coordinator, and now he's running around trying to find the play clock operator. That's a lot on the guy's plate, who still lives in Valley City, so he's commuting 70 miles a day.
Right. No, he's a terrific coach also. So
Terrific guy as well.
You bet.
Don, tonight's Red River rivalry game, oh boy, is sponsored by State Farm agent David Eggers. Looking for a good neighbor agency in our community? The Eggers Agency on 8th Street in Moorhead has served Fargo, Moorhead, and the surrounding area for over 20 years. Call them at 218-233-1334 or stop by the Eggers Agency on 8th Street in Moorhead. All right, after the delay, McLemore. Is Bresnahan going to get it? He just fair caught the ball at the 2-yard line. I've never seen that before.
I'm not sure what was going on there. That's odd. That's odd. On a kickoff.
I've seen fair catches before when they're chipped up in the air and a lineman will call a fair catch 15, 20 yards down the field.
Or one of the upbacks,
Wait
maybe.
a second. This is a new rule. That's a new rule. I think this is the safety rule.
There you go. Okay. Yep.
That's
Take the
why
ball
we've
at the
never seen
25.
that.
We're good.
All right. 1st and 10.
Good call by the Dragons.
We good?
Yeah.
1st and 10. Herman Gray spins towards the 29-yard line. I was going to say, what is he doing?
Scared me.
Taking a fair catch at the 2-yard line.
Holy cow. I guess I'm going to have to grab the rule book and brush up a little bit because I didn't realize the safety rule was just that.
Gray. Oh, boy, did he get smacked. Is that Will Cross? It was. Boy,
And,
the two
and
Wills.
Julian Jackson in there.
The two Wills can pop.
Oh, yeah, they're on the ball. They've got a nose for it, and no doubt about it. That's why they're, considered two of the best in the conference on the defensive side of the ball.
And they just don't get the notoriety. Chuck Lofquist, who played for 4 years at Minnesota Crookston, probably could have played linebacker anywhere in the league. He played at Minnesota Crookston. They didn't win many games, but he was terrific. And so is Herman Gray in second gear, and he gets tripped up from behind. Maybe saving a touchdown was Oli Al-Khatib, an outside linebacker out of Rosemount, Minnesota. Probably just saved a touchdown.
I think this goes for about 21 yards. And yes, you're right. That shoestring tackle right there saved 6 points for sure. Herman was on his high gear right there.
Approaching 100 yards, and we still have 2:05 remaining here in the first quarter. This is Bresnahan around the end. Grady Bresnahan looking for an opening. He'll find the sidelines, and he gets high load. Javon Chappelle out of Ocala, Florida. There's some good football played down there, and he just made a big hit on the Crookston sideline. Tell me if this looks fun. Getting tackled up high, but then watch number 2 come in right there. That doesn't look fun.
No, when you knife somebody on the defense, when you're making a tackle like that as a knife, you hurt that guy's hip a little bit more than what he wanted.
Meal looking long, has a man, and he overshoots Zach Sweep, who's now been moved to wide receiver. Played running back, played strong safety. He's going to be all Miles Montplaisir. He might play every position before his career's over.
I doubt he'll take any snaps. Maybe actually he has because he's punted. He's done some punting along the way also.
Kick returning.
Yes, he has. Yep.
He's done it all.
And he runs track for the Dragons also.
Meal pass to Evan Moore, who had a great freshman campaign a couple of years ago, and now his numbers have tapered off a tish. Couldn't get the first down, and now it's 4th and 2 here with a minute remaining in the first quarter.
And the Dragons
Zach
will
Simons,
go.
excuse me, Don.
Yep.
Zach Simons in the backfield to the right of Meal. Dragons look like they're going for it on 4th down. Low snap. Give Simons. Did he get the first down? I don't think so.
No, I think he's going to be short. Yes, I believe his knee was down, and they're going to call him short of that first down. He dove forward, but his knee hit first. We'll see it right here. Yep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nelson Uzunwa out of Lagos, Nigeria, and Julian Jackson.
They had the blocking, Steve. They had the blocking. They had it, opening for him to make the first down, but that low snap was a timing issue or caused a timing issue.
So now Minnesota Crookston will have the wind for what it's worth for 46 more seconds. Trailing 7-3 here in the first quarter. A Herman Gray touchdown run of 53 yards. And then Minnesota Crookston came back on their previous drive and got a field goal.
In on that tackle, again,
Strand.
Michael Strand.
Yeah, if you can't see what's going on down on the field, if you guessed, it's probably Strand.
Add in the great read by Matt Scholl from the middle linebacker position.
Kevin Evans, who is tabbed to be the first-string running back, is going to run it again. Guess who makes another tackle? And that's going to do it for quarter number 1. The Dragons with the lead of 7-3. And as promised, we are going to go downstairs, and Alexis Kennedy has a pretty special guest.
So you guys have Scotty down here? Big day today. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
How is it being here, not up in the booth?
It's a little different after all these years. When I was a sports information director, of course, I was there, and then lately doing some broadcasting. But in honesty, it's kind of fun to slip away, get a little different look at it, maybe a little more relaxing, and still appreciate the Dragons. Great to be down here, though.
Now, I do have to ask, what do you think the Dragons need to do this year to be successful?
Well, they're basically a young team with a new quarterback. We know that, so there's going to be some growing pains in there. So I think for us, it'll take maybe a little patience in that. And I like the foundation. I think they're on the right path. They might be outgunned in a few games later. We'll find that out. But so far, so good.
Thank you. Happy birthday again. Steve, Don.
Alexis, thank you very much. Steve DeStatio, Don Groth. It is Larry Scott's, I think, 74th birthday today. Scotty, from us, guy that knew you from the 80s, guy that knew you from the 90s, thank you.
And happy birthday.
And there
Seriously.
he is. There he is. And
Great man.
Nobody can outdo that stash.
No.
Ever.
I've tried. I'm not there.
No.
Long ways from that.
Scotty, we miss you up here in the booth. For those of you who don't know, we didn't boot him out. Scotty just voluntarily said, you know what? Time for someone else. I'm going to step aside. And you know what? His streak, which is over 500 and some games of watching Dragons football, he has seen, including tonight, every game since 1967. That's the year I was born, and I'm old.
There you go. Oh, seriously, I've been around in Dragon football since 1977.
Okay.
I wasn't playing then, but my older brother did play back then, and so that's when I got indoctrinated, and actually I met Scotty then.
Ed Schultz, quarterback in the Dragons back. Oh, those must have been fun times. Scott, looking downfield, has a man, and it's incomplete.
That was Stewart.
Oh, boy, you rarely see Rod Stewart. First of all, the Dragons missed an assignment because that guy was wide open. That's the last guy you want in white to have the ball.
Well, for sure, and then that ball hit him right in the hands, and he doesn't miss many balls.
So now Stephen Day is going to have to punt into this breeze. Grady Bresnahan is standing back at his own 35-yard line. Well, that's a great kick into the wind. Bresnahan all the way back to his own 25-yard line, and he gets smashed. Boy, oh boy, LaDerrick McCray out of Macomb, Mississippi. Woo, that's a big one.
That was a decleater.
That's a big one.
Yes, I'm guessing that Brady is going to wish he took a knee there.
Yeah, Grady Bresnahan's going to remember that one for a while. So the Dragon offense leading 7-3, 14:47 remaining in the first quarter. I saw Herman Gray talking to Keith Weidrich. We love Keith. He saw his son last night, Northern State's up at Bemidji today. That's a guy you don't want to be talking to because he's the athletic trainer. Here's a pass to, on the left side, or the right side, to Trent Marquardt, a freshman out of Glenburn, Minnesota. So Zach Simons, maybe by design, Simons is in the backfield along with Bryce Meal.
And giving a little rest to Herman Gray.
He had 99 yards in the first quarter.
Exactly.
Meal with a lot of time. Throwing long, has a man, complete. Jake Richter all the way down to the Minnesota Crookston 28-yard line. He was tackled by Boyce Haar. Biggest pass play of the night.
Well, and Jake Richter 2 years ago was catching balls. He was catching balls for the Dragons, and then last year had a little injury prone, but he looks, albeit very healthy right now.
Boy, Marquardt again, good looking wide receiver. His idol, I don't know who your idol in life is, right? His idol, Hunter Broughton, who just graduated last year from out in Glenburn. Boy, he caught the ball like Hunter. He went up and got it. First down, Meal. Right side, incomplete. That was Jake Richter.
Good out pattern. The Dragons up front are definitely taking care of their defensive line from the Golden Eagles and hold them off. Bryce Meals had plenty of time to make these throws.
How's Meal look so far?
Very impressive. I mean, he gets rid of the ball quick.
Has to this time. Blitz is on. Incomplete as Meal also got pegged, and now a late flag comes in. I'm sorry, Don, go ahead.
No, I think that he is, he's a seasoned guy. He's been here for 3 years, 4 years, three and a half.
Yep.
And so he knows the offense. He knows what Coach Lockway wants, and the offensive line is doing what they're supposed to be doing in front of him. He's able to survey the land and make the right reads, and he's doing a great job right now.
I want to see what he can do, not just tonight. I mean, it's on display, obviously. And then next week we go, shall we say, up a couple notches into Louvre.
Just a couple.
Just
a couple.
Right. So it's going to be important. Minnesota State Mankato is going to be here, the #1 team in the country. The Dragons have a pretty tough schedule this year, albeit it's the NSIC. They get different components from the South. But the point is, I want to see him with an offensive line that's going to take care of him.
Right. And I think that these guys getting their feet wet right now are doing a great job.
Another low snap. Shovel to Bresnahan. He's in a whole boatload of trouble, and he's going to go down. Making the first hit was Will Cross. Will Cross is to Crookston what Michael Strand is for the Dragons.
Exactly. He's in on just about every play, and if he isn't, he has freed up someone else and taken on two blockers to make sure that somebody else can make the tackle. On that play, it was just, it took way too long for things to develop, and that offensive line had a trouble with it, just trying to keep the guys off.
So here's Chesvold. He made 4 of 6 2 years ago. This is from 34 yards. He's got plenty of leg, but it's no good. And now Minnesota Crookston, I've seen this far too many times. I've seen all 19 of these games. Don't give them the momentum. One of the Dragons' keys to a victory was get off to a fast start. They got off to a fast start.
Oh, they did. Yes.
But now what?
You got to keep that momentum. And defensively right now, that's what the Dragons have to do. They have to gain it back. Now they gave, the offense didn't convert. Now the defense has a quick change, and they have to convert. Get the ball back.
13-13 left, first half. Stay tuned for our MSUM halftime news break as we revisit Dragon Football Media Day and Steve Lockway's thoughts heading into tonight's game. Scott thumped to the ground. And this is going to set up 2nd and 10 think that was Domick. Oh, that was Derek Porozinski for the Dragons. He's had a very good career here the last couple of years.
He's done a great job of growing into his body. Not a big kid when he got here. Gets off the ball very quickly.
Many people have said I've grown into my body over the years, but not in the way that Porozinski has. There's Stewart. Takes 3 Dragons to take him down.
Poorly thrown ball, but the athleticism of Stewart going back, twisting his body and making the grab. We're going to see it right here. The ball was thrown in the wrong spot. He comes back and is able to contort his body and make that grab. Good play by Jerry Ray making the tackle.
Shad Vita also on the tackle. I believe the wind got a piece of that ball. It just wasn't crisp, or Scott just doesn't have that strong of an arm. Either way, they got the first down. Minnesota Crookston. They give the ball to Rod Stewart. Stewart avoids a tackle and another. And an adventurous 1.5-yard run comes to an end quickly. Matt Show gets his, second or third tackle so far tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's been in on a couple threes, so that looked pretty good. In fact, Casey Paskey was really close to making that tackle, but Show was able to come in on the underside.
Paskey, the senior out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Give up the middle, goes nowhere fast. That's Elijah Todd. He might have gotten a yard. And this will bring up 3rd and about 7, Don. You talked about the Dragon offensive line needing to get their feet wet against the team that they should beat. Same goes for this defense too, correct?
Right, yeah, they need to get their assignments down, and the defensive line is poised and doing a very good job right now. They did have a little bit of a problem in the first quarter.
3rd and 7. The junior quarterback, Scott, in a lot of trouble, and he's going to go down. A blitz game came from the far side, and he got blasted down by Darius Woods Steichen, the sophomore from Monoman, Minnesota. I know that's a guy that you absolutely love.
I love him. I think the kid has got greatness written all over him. Actually saw him play some softball this summer. I think he only had one ball that didn't go out of the park. He hits the ball a long ways. He's an athlete, and right there, he's got a lot of good football sense. After all the years playing up in Monoman, some great coaches up there.
Zach Sweep called for a fair catch and then still got hit. And I think since he fielded it on the bounce, doesn't this flag come up unless they changed another rule? One more thought about Monoman, Don, if I can, for just one moment.
Yep.
Their casino out there is taking a lot of money from yours truly. So I love the town. Darius Woods Steichen,
right?
Good football out there. I'm just not going to put money in the slot machines anymore.
There you go. Okay, you stay away from. I'm not a gambler, so it doesn't. I don't get to the casino all that much.
Well,
I do like that part of the country though out there.
Oh, they
north
call
of
it
Detroit Lakes. It's
God's country. Oh
you
yeah,
bet it is.
See that?
For sure.
They did pick up the flag.
Yes.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dragons from their own 39-yard line. 10:22 remaining. First half from Moorhead here on opening night on WDAY Xtra. Meal rolling and throwing. Complete. Near side, Zach Sweep. That's a wonderful throw by Meal, who is going to his opposite side.
And that's what the coach really likes about Bryce. Coach Lockway loves the way that he moves and what he can do on the move. He put some zip on that ball.
Another one of those little fundamental things. Here's a throw. Steamrolling right up the middle is Denver Colgrove. Get out of that guy's way. He'll get 7 yards and a first down. Did you see how tightly Neal had the ball rolling to the left? It's one of those things I learned on one of those Gruden football camps.
Right.
Protect the football.
Yep, 2 hands on that ball, and he does. Fundamentally, he's been doing a great job, and tonight he's doing a fantastic job of making those throws also.
From the 45, Neal nearly has it picked off. I don't think he saw 54 Will Cross, or he was trying to thread a pretty tight needle.
I think he was trying to thread that needle because that was wide open for a split second, and I don't know if somebody got in his eyes or what, but Well, Will Cross, he is definitely a middle linebacker. When you look at the kid, that's who he is. He is Dick Butkus, sitting right there in the middle.
Here's Colgrove again. This time he'll be escorted violently to the turf by Jared Miller, a senior out of Chicago, Illinois. So this will bring up a 3rd and 8 with 9.5 minutes remaining. You see the other scorers scrolling. There are 7 games in the NSIC tonight. Augustan and Upper Iowa will do their opening day honors on Saturday down in Fayette. I'll be down in Fayette in a couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
Oh, Dragons played Upper Iowa. Meehl throws, incomplete. Great coverage on the near side that time by Anthony Cooper. He already had a big blow-up hit. Now he just made a great play defensively.
And on this play, I think Jake Richter didn't get the box out that he really wanted to set himself up to go after that ball and not let that defensive back come over his shoulder and make that knockdown.
So let's see what Blake Oxendorf can do. High end over end kick. Oh, Rod Stewart's going to take a fair catch to the 5-yard line. Oh, look at the punter, Oxendorf, pumping his fist. That's what you like to see, is punter pride.
And that ball was a end over end punt. You do not see that much at all, Steve. And you as a kicker,
that's
right,
what you don't want.
You don't think. He obviously did that on purpose because he wanted to kick it high and have maybe a little bit of a bounce. If it did bounce, that it was going to stay inside the 10 for sure.
This is why we hired you, because you support the kickers.
I do.
Punt.
Well, they're important.
That punter pride. So from the 5-yard line, first down for Minnesota Crookston. Inside handoff goes to Evans, and he doesn't get much. Get your game day gear and more at shopmsumdragons.com. Right now, you can get free shipping on every order over $50. That's free shipping, every order over $50, but hurry, the offer is only available through September the 9th. Shopmsumdragons.com. 2nd and 6 for Minnesota Crookston. More motion, another give to Evans, and he's going to attract no fewer than 9 Dragons who gang tackle him at the 10-yard line to bring up a 3rd and 6.
And there is Strand again. If we have anything to say, that kid is in on just about every single play. That time he read it so well, he didn't make the tackle, but he blew it up, and the guys inside cleaned it up.
Crowd gets noisy again on 3rd and 6. Scott in trouble, squirts out, and he slid and then got belted by DeAndre Taylor, the junior cornerback out of Crest Hill, Illinois, who's been battling hamstring issues. And this is one of those where Scott went down right at the last moment. What is a defensive back to do?
It looked like DeAndre, like Taylor, was already in the motion of making the hit. But I might be a little bit wrong, but I think Scott went into the slide like just at the last second, and Taylor was already going for the hit.
Watch it right. Nah, he hit him late. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Once again, Hardy Boys right. Broadcasters like
Wrong.
me at the casino. Out of money.
That was on the other side of the field. Out of money.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Pitch, far side, Jerry Ray. What a play in the open field as Ray sniffed that out. Shanti Smith went nowhere. 2 Californians in the middle of the field.
Jay Ray following in his big brother's footsteps.
Uh-huh.
Playing defensive back here for the Dragons.
Oh, that is textbook. And then Jerry let him know it. That's California pride.
I got you. Oh, for sure. Love that kid. He's a joy to even speak with. He's just a stand-up citizen.
5'7", 160. Plays a great cornerback. 2nd and 14. Low snap. Scott in trouble. Somehow avoids a sack. Now there's a man open on the near side. Complete. It's Andy Grobner. He avoids a tackle. Taylor makes the tackle, and that was a heck of an adventurous 11-yard pickup for Crookston.
Fumbled snap. That changed all the timing. His receiver sat down on the sideline and just kind of waited for things to fold out, as Scott was able to keep his wits about him and not get sacked.
Another third down for this Dragon defense. The Golden Eagles need 3.
Press by the corners.
Scott is going to get the first down. Wow, it's a great play by Scott. You could just see not just the athleticism, but the knowledge of the game. A little pump fake, and then he said, you know what? I got just enough daylight to get a first down.
And right here, you're going to see it's a run-pass option all the way.
Yep, but I think it was DeAndre Taylor that just backpedaled for a moment, allowing the daylight for Scott to get the first down. This is Evans. Or check that, Scott keeps it, and he's going to twist and turn and pick up 6 tough yards right in the middle of the field. Is this worrisome if you're Steve Lockway on the sidelines?
Well, last series, the defensive line for the Dragons, they were able to control it. Right now, you've got a little bit more misdirection going on. The offensive coordinator and the head coach, Duffner, from the Golden Eagles, have made some adjustments on the offensive line play, and they're able to now pick up some pretty good chunks of positive yardage.
The Dragons are celebrating 100 seasons of Dragons football this year. A formal celebration will take place on September 15th before the game against Northern State. After the game, that's in 2 weeks from Saturday, join us for the first ever all-sport reunion featuring a concert by the Johnny Home Band. You can find more information at alldragons18.com. And a big thank you to all of you who have participated and supported Dragon football in this, their 100th season, Don. That includes you.
It does, and you.
No, I never played. Not here.
Not here.
Not here, no. I played for a Division III college that you've never heard of before.
But you've been a part about and a part of Dragon athletics and Dragon football for many years.
22. Yes, thank you. I was a third-string kicker in Division III. Played for the late, great Mike McGlinchey at Salisbury State. It's 3rd and 2 here at the 4:40 mark as Minnesota Crookston is grinding away and a drive that started all the way back. What is a 5-yard line? Rod Stewart in a slot on the left-hand side. Coming close to the first down was Evans. He looks like he's, oh boy, he's a full football short. 4th down, decision time for Mark Duffner.
You got to go for it.
They haven't won a game in a couple
You
years.
have to go for
Yes.
it. You've been picking up positive yardage. Just so happened he got tripped up. There was room for him to run. Dragon defense was able to get his hand up there and make the tackle. But he had a good 10 or 15 yards of turf right in front of him before anybody else would have hit him.
And now Minnesota Crookston is going to take a timeout. So we'll take a quick break. 3:46 remaining in the first half. It's 7-3 Dragons here in Moorhead.
You always do this. You had a couple of pops in you and got cocky. Who's up for a game of wing roulette, you said? Because you thought it'd be funny to watch one of your friends get stuck with the hot one. But your friends, they got teriyaki, then spicy garlic, and then Asian zing. And now you're looking at the last one and you're thinking, my God, what have I done?
Fourth down, let's go down to our first down between Alexis Kennedy. Alexis.
Hi, you guys. common theme happening between both the offensive and defensive side of the Dragons. On the offensive side, you have Coach Lockway talking about motion, making sure to displace the Eagles, move them up the field, and keep the movement forward. On the defensive side, you have Coach Littlejohn and Blackhurst saying that if you see the movement with their running back, to keep the backside and fill the gaps.
See if they can fill the gaps here on 4th down. Thank you, Alexis. Very good stuff. Dragons, 2 new coaches, Joey Blackmore and Carlton Littlejohn, over from across the river. Those guys not a win. Can they stop the Eagles on 4th down? No. A 1st down as a hole opened up right over center. Elijah Todd, who they brought in for Evans. I think I could have run through this hole, Don. Oh, yeah.
Hate to say it, but it looked like the parting of the Red Sea.
Aaron Doan.
Red jerseys.
Aaron Doan made the tackle. It's a great job up front by Minnesota Crookston. Jordan Macy, just a freshman. Freshman, or 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a junior. This offensive line for Minnesota Crookston. There goes Scott again. He's loose. He fumbles again, and the Dragons have it. That's twice he's been careless with the football. This time it burned him.
His athleticism, he feels like he can do just about anything, but carrying that ball like a loaf of bread is not really that great. Jerry Ray on the recovery picks it up off of 1 hop.
Did he get stripped or was he oh no, he got stripped. He got stripped. That's a great play by Show. He's made a couple tackles, Don, and now he just made the strip of the football.
Oh, exactly. And Jerry Ray didn't make that recovery. I missed the number on it. We'll get it here in a minute.
I saw Jerry Ray celebrating.
Yeah.
I thought he had the football. Either way, the Dragons get the football back from the 28-yard line. Meal takes a big pop but gets it away. Ricker, far side, avoids a tackle. Now he's going to get a 1st down over what's got to be a deflated sideline. Boy, they were driving, Don. Hey, in a perfect world, Crookston drives. Maybe they get the lead by halftime.
And that, I mean, they started at their own 5-yard line, and they were picking up not big chunks, but enough to move the chains.
Herman Gray runs into his own man. Gets a 1st down. Even Nathan Belisle, his right guard out of Athens, Wisconsin, couldn't take him down as Gray goes over 100 yards.
That was a nice push up front by the offensive line, just zone blocking on this 3 front that they're playing. They're playing against basically a 5-2, but it looks like a 3-4.
Boy, did Gray just take a punch from Javon Chappelle. Those were 2 rams right at the 50-yard line.
Not head-to-head, but
Bucking
pretty darn
horns,
close, yeah. Face mask to face mask.
Whew. 2:20 remaining, 1st half. There goes Simons. A flag comes down. Simons goes down. Julian Jackson makes the tackle, and now the clock will stop. You saw the Dragons try to hurry it along. This is a classic situation of Minnesota Crookston trying to slow things down. The Dragons trying to move it along.
Well, the Dragons, I mean, there's been a few games across the last couple of years that they've run 88, 89, 90, 104.
Yeah.
104 plays in a 4-quarter football game. That's ridiculous. But you also, if you press the defense, they can't make the changes if you're going no huddle and you're moving the chains that quick.
Yeah, I don't think this team has the parts to run 100 plays. I think they want to up tempo, but not like aerial circus the last few years. Meal goes up top, and making a terrific catch on the far side is Marquardt again. After the hold, this is going to set up a 3rd and 11 from the 45-yard line.
I think they called that an incomplete pass.
No, the clock's running.
Oh, it is.
No, they said his progress was stopped before
Gotcha,
he
okay.
got out of bounds.
There you go.
Golden Eagles show blitz. This could be a free play for the Dragons. Meal in trouble, out of trouble, and I think he knew he had a free play, so he just heaved it downfield.
Throw it up there, and maybe one of those red shirts could run under it for the Dragons, but yeah, no, that didn't happen. It was a broken play to start with.
Now let's see if Jim Hardy and the boys saw what we saw.
Offside. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty.
Logan Huso was offside, so the Dragons are going to get another shot at this. It'll be a 3rd and 6 with a $1:23 remaining here in the first half.
And plenty of time to put the ball in the end zone. The Dragons have a 1:23 left. They need to move the chains here on this down.
Yeah, they got a couple of timeouts left, and the clock stops for almost anything here at the college level. Meal throws, complete, incomplete. Nope, Evan Moore had it, and I think he got it broken up by Ollie Alcatib, number 7, who came in. I'm hearing more whistles. Is there a flag?
I'm not sure what that was about.
Please reset the game clock. 1 minute, 22 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 22 seconds.
There was 1:23 remaining before that snap, and now they're putting 1:22.
I could see maybe 1:18.
Yeah.
18, but that play took at least 4.5 seconds. 5.
All right, either way. Oxendorf,
all right.
high snap. Another beauty. And it's going to be down at the 1-yard line by Logan Bruce.
There again, Steve. The end-over-end punt was purposely done to get a roll and a little backspin on that thing, and it went sideways and did not jump into the end zone.
I'm sorry, Don.
Field position.
The Dragons have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, and the breeze is still blowing. Mother Nature hasn't stopped. So you get a couple, you see where I'm going with this. Well, that's just perfect special teams. Logan Bruce, he's the one who snapped it, and he's the one who got downfield and downs the ball on the 1-yard line. That's working on both ends.
That is beautiful. Beautiful work.
So now you got the Golden Eagles working out of their end zone. The Dragons are claiming the Golden Eagles fumble.
Nope.
It's 2nd down. Is Steve Lockway going to call timeout? Yes. He'll call a timeout. We'll take a quick break. 1:09 remaining in the first half. Dragons up by 4.
This is Dragons Live.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
MSUM is proud to have Sodexo as our dining services partner. Convenience, flexibility, and value are built into each dining plan. Visit mnstate.sodexomyway.com for all meal plan options. And thank you, Sodexo, for being a supporter of Dragon Athletics here in 2018. Low snap, Scott has to get out of the end zone and does. Boy, the Dragons, Don, we're a mile away, but it looks like Scott is playing with fire as far as ball security is concerned.
Oh, for sure. And honestly, I'm not quite sure why they're not putting him under center.
I mean, I'm looking at the football, and I can see the football. Low snap. He had it, right? And he tries to stretch a little bit forward. That time he had a little more, but shouldn't he have 2 hands around that football?
Well, at least, I mean, if nothing else, have it wrapped up inside his belly somehow with both arms covering it, but 2 hands on it for sure. What I see right now down there, the Dragons have to be a little bit careful to not shoot gaps because everybody's coming. The linebackers, the defensive ends, and the defensive linemen are coming.
Hey, Dragon fans, Matt Buss has been serving the Fargo-Moorhead area since 1974. And new for Matt Buss is Link FM. It's the fun, fast, and free way to get around downtown. For more information, go to mattbuss.com. 3rd and 8 for Minnesota Crookston. 1:07 remaining here in the first half, and now Minnesota Crookston will take a timeout. So we'll take another break with 1:07 remaining in the first half. Still 7-3 for Moorhead.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
So, Steve, when I was talking about the defensive line for the Dragons and the linebackers, now they backed off a little bit, and now you've got a little more what you would call is just protection out there. Stop the play, keep it in contained.
The ball got snapped. Scott, can he get out of the end zone? Yes, he takes another big lick. He is so lucky because Matt Show hopped on him. Scott was not expecting the ball, and it landed, fortunately for Minnesota Crookston, right in his breadbasket.
Oh, it came up really quick. He was looking the other direction.
Wow. It is opening day, isn't it? It's rusty. This game is viscous. It's slowed down here. I mean, we were hauling right along, and now it's just timeouts being taken, some sloppy football being played, late hits. It's opening night.
It is, and both teams, I would say the Golden Eagles have a little more experience in most positions than the Dragons here, but overall, it's been a pretty good game.
Oh yeah, entertainment value. Other than us, this is terrific.
Right.
I feel for the fans at home, or maybe they're on mute. But this is some pretty big moments in this game since it's still 7-3.
Well,
Stephen Day's got to get this kickoff.
And if Scott isn't as athletic as he is, he doesn't get out of the end zone. That's a safety on that last play.
Day has been terrific so far tonight. He'd love for even a 35-yarder. He'll get it off. Sweep at the 32-yard line. Loose on the right side. Down the sideline, he'll get pummeled out of bounds. But now the Dragons are in business with 52 seconds remaining in the first half. So Steve Lockway played his cards the way he should have. He had all 3 timeouts, got the stuff. It was all set up by the great kick by Oxendorf. But now you got to punch it in if you're the Dragons.
Definitely, and Zach Sweep got a really nice return on that. It was a short, low punt, kind of a line drive, and he was able to use his athleticism to get it down inside the 15. We're at the 14-yard line.
It was a 31-yard kick, 19-yard return. So the Dragons set up shop on the 13-yard line. 1st and 10. They're out of timeouts. Meal. Incomplete. Boy, he's tried to thread a couple needles tonight, and now Minnesota Crookston's not happy. Boy, I thought that was good coverage by Will Cole.
Oh, it was designed. The play was designed very well, but the defense did have blanket coverage on that. And in the middle, there just wasn't any room, and Bryce tried to actually force a ball into somewhere where he shouldn't have.
That's probably my only critique of him so far. Obviously, he's not lighting it up. 10 of 16, 95 yards. Here's Jim Hardy.
Interference on the defense, number 54.
They called the pass interference. Will Cole was upset. Will Cross gets the flag. But he's thrown the ball twice into impossible coverage.
Exactly, and both of those, including this one, of course, it wouldn't have been an interception, but both throws were in harm's way.
This is harm's way for Minnesota Crookston. They've played a solid first half. Meal from the 7, lobbing towards the end zone. He has a man, he overshoots. Jake Richter. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Marquardt, the intended receiver on the near side.
19 and 10. It's sometimes when they're rolling around on the turf, it's a little hard to tell.
That is a 19.
Yeah.
And there's a 10 on the near side. Evan Moore is on the far side. Second and goal. Meal fires. Incomplete. Uh-oh. Anthony Cooper stood right over top of Jake Richter and let him know that he had great coverage.
What?
You don't want to make a dumb mistake. If you're Minnesota Crookston right now, somebody should tell that to Mr. Cooper.
And give him an extra play, that's for
4
sure.
plays.
He had great coverage on Richter, and I'll tell you what, you don't have to boast too loudly. You were right there.
Meal looking that way again. Fires, touchdown. He didn't make the stop that time. Dragons increase their lead. Just a shot to Jake Richter, and it's 13-3.
Excellent toss. He zipped that ball right into the breadbasket of Jake Richter, and Richter was able to fend off the defense, boxed out right at the goal line, able to make the grab, take it home for 6.
Chesvold kicks it towards the end zone extravaganza and makes it 14-3. We'll take a break, 35 seconds remaining first half. It's 14-3, the Dragons are up.
Herbert and Gerberts wants to know, what's your favorite sandwich?
My personal favorite is the Flash. It's got all that meat and that Italian flavor that I can't get enough of.
You know, the first time I was at Herbert and Gerberts, I couldn't decide if I wanted ham or turkey, so I got the Gerf. Got both.
I like the Pompeii because I like chicken salad, but it also has that sweet chili sauce.
Experience Flavor Nation for yourself with the classic, specialty, and signature menus at Herbert and Gerberts with 4 convenient FM locations, 1 in Bismarck and 1 in Grand Forks. Or order online and have it delivered at herbertandgerberts.com.
Don, how about this for a drive? You ready? 3 plays, 13 yards, 17 seconds.
You gotta like it. And when you're putting up points, we said fast start. It's what you want. You need to capitalize on the things that you're doing right.
Punt inside the 1-yard line by Oxendorf. Defense, 3 and out. Offense punches it in. Total team effort.
All facets of the game working just the way you want them.
Chesvold. Uh-oh, Rod Stewart. Is he going to give it a try? Yep. Why not? Stewart. There he goes. Sweep couldn't bring him down. Running towards the Crookston sideline, and boy, I give the guy a lot of credit. First of all, he makes a Willie Mays catch over his head at the 1-yard line, right, in the wind. And then he runs clear across the field, and instead of going out of bounds, instead he delivered a hit. I like the way that guy's play.
And Solo with the tackle.
Sangabawalai.
Exactly.
That is Norwegian for look at the big fish that I caught.
Right?
Sangabawalai. They call him Solo.
5'11", 175. Freshman out of Itasca, Illinois, Lake Park High School. His nickname is Solo.
That's only because the coaches can't pronounce it. We'll see what Minnesota Crookston does. They fumble the ball again. Scott's going to go down, and it might behoove them to get to the locker room. They have 1 timeout left, and they're going nowhere fast. They only have 123 yards. They had 128 all told last year when the Dragons thumped them up in Crookston. And the Golden Eagles let the first half clock run out. 14-3 is our score here at the half. We now invite you to stay tuned. An MSUM halftime news break is on its way, and then afterwards, Don and I will come back with first half highlights, stats, a look around the NSIC scoreboard, and much, much more. 14-3, the Dragons with the lead.
The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. There's a place where teaching and learning are transforming lives, where relationships drive deeper, more meaningful exploration and discovery based on mutual respect and trust, where you'll discover who you are and what you can achieve when you head out into the world to make it better. Life is more than a journey. It is a chance to transform.
Today's Dragons Live coverage is brought to you by BSN, The Courtyard by Marriott, Herbert & Gerbert's, Richards Transportation, Scheels of Moorhead, Shucks Bus Service, Buffalo Wild Wings, Forum Communications. Hello everyone and welcome to the MSUM Halftime News Break. I'm your host, John Webby Webking. On today's show, we're going back to Media Day to learn more about the men you're watching on the football field tonight. Here's head coach Steve Lockway.
All right, just want to touch base on a couple of things. First off, as a whole group here, as far as, I would imagine there'll be some questions as far as the quarterback position goes. I think that's been an exciting thing that we've seen in fall camp. I feel like we've got two really good quarterbacks, both that are able to play. Both, really for the most part, are unproven and really substantial game experience. Right now, Jacob has taken the reps with the first group after what he did in the spring. Bryce has been with the twos. I think coming off that ACL was a little bit, shaky week one. I think he's been a lot better this week, and so I think that early gap the first week is closed, and so we're not at the point where we would name a starter, but certainly, I would imagine as we get to game week, obviously we're gonna have to get to that point. But it's a case where I think both of them are playing at a high enough level that we could see both of them. They each have a similar skill set, but there's a few unique things that they each bring to the table that I think we can take advantage of. So from that standpoint, been pleased with that group. I think overall, this group, the exciting piece about them is they're kind of a bunch of no-namers that, you got to probably look at the roster a couple times. There's maybe no standout that catches everybody's eye, but I think they all kind of look around, and what's exciting is when we win games, they'll look around and they'll look at each other and go, we won it because of all of us in the room. And I think when you have a group that feels like everybody contributes and everybody has to play their best in order to win, I think you can get something pretty special. And so that's been fun to be around this group since really the end of last season, and I think it's built really well in the off season. I think we're getting where we need to be as far as that goes. Probably the most difficult thing then about this team becomes it's difficult to judge how good we are or how good we maybe aren't, as far as where that potential lands us, because I think there's so many intangible pieces at work with this group of guys that somehow they got that aura hanging over their head that I think somehow they'll figure out a way where 1 + 1 can equal more than 2, and so that's intriguing. It's different. I usually have a pretty good pulse on how good I think we are or where our deficiencies are, but this group has something different about it that we haven't had here in the 8 years that I've been here. So that's a lot of fun. So it's been a great group to work with. Camp's going well. Well, I think you want to kind of have a gauge on about where you're going to land as a football team. I don't know that there's any sense of necessarily fear about what could happen bad. I think I've learned lessons in life that you just don't live out of fear. You live out of playing aggressive, being aggressive, and if you do the right thing long enough, things are going to fall into place. And I think this group has been doing the right thing. I think they've been building connections with each other pretty well that they'll find a way. On paper it might not look like it, but I think they're going to find a way, and that's, like I say, it's inspiring to be around a group of guys like that. Well, I think when you look at what our potential was last year and where we hit, that was the big, to me, in my whole coaching career and playing career, that was the biggest gap between potential and performance that there's been. And I think when you're around that big of a gap, you certainly got to look in the mirror and do some soul searching as a head coach, as coaches on the staff, as players. And you don't want to do that. And I've been a part of some teams that haven't been very good, but we've met our potential and maybe surpassed it. And so to not be able to do that last year, I think makes you really look and go, what went wrong? where were we off point, and how do we got to get that corrected and get it corrected really fast. And I think everybody had that same sour taste in their mouth. I don't think there was anybody in the program that was happy or comfortable with where we were. And so if you're a competitor, you look deep in the mirror, and I think we realize, hey, here's some lessons that we got to move forward with. And culture doesn't just run on its own. Team chemistry and bonding just doesn't happen. Those are things that you have to be intentional about creating, setting your ego aside and saying, you know what, we're gonna do this as a team. We're gonna figure out who's the guy next to me and what makes him tick, and how am I gonna make him better, more than just making myself better. And I think from the top down, I think we got a better focus on that this year. Well, I think what it did is got us back to the anchors that we had early. I think we drifted a little from our anchor and thought our culture was probably stronger than it was. There's some things that kind of we took for granted that we're gonna get handled. And, I don't know that it did last year, and so we went back to exactly the same recipe that we had when we started kind of rising this thing out of the dumpster. And I think it isn't anything that's super flashy or big. It's a little everyday things. Yep. You know, Rob, just the ultimate team player. You know, is on the offense. You know, which is where, you know, his strength lies. That's what he played as a college player, and you know, excelled to the next level at that. And you know, and he's one of the original coaches as we've turned the program around, that as we had so much instability with our staff, he just kind of said, you know what, I can provide stability. Let's have me jump over to defense. Let me do what we can do until we can elevate the program, and then at the right time, we'll know it and we'll make the change. And I think we felt that was this year. I feel really good about our defensive staff and our defensive coaches. I think our defense is ahead of where it's been. It's continued to grow, and I think it's like riding a bike, getting back. I think Rob's been great with the offensive line. That's where he's at home and being able to work with those guys every day. And so I think that's by the end of spring ball, I felt like we were back to, you know, hitting in full rhythm with that. Well, I think that, you know, the unique thing about this season is, you know, graduating so many guys that were big names that played. There is no kind of sense of security of, hey, I have my playing time, I have my starting spot. You know, this freshman could play, and you know, I think it was a talented recruiting class, and we've seen some freshmen that really stepped up, gotten themselves into positions where we might be able to see them in game day. And so I think that keeps our current guys on edge. It just raises the level of every rep in practice.
Steve, you a fan of what the league did to change up its schedule? Now you start with interdivision games.
Yeah, huge fan of that. Something that, you know, has been talked about for a couple of years to be able to get it going. I think more from just a life in the balance for the student athletes. We play all night games for the most part in that first month. To not have to drive back from Wayne or, you know, Upper Iowa, leaving there at 10 in the morning and getting back at 5 a.m. I think it's much better. I like it from as far as we know who we're playing these first few weeks. You know, you can prep, you can get ready, which is different when you're playing those South games. You only play them every other year. You don't have as good a feel for what it is. So I like what the league did, and I think it's good for us. Yeah, well, I think we've kind of flushed last year, and you know, we did the autopsy on it. We learned what we needed to learn from it, and then said last year. It's time for us to flip the page and move forward. And so I don't think there's any reminiscing about, oh, we coulda, shoulda, woulda. I think we look at this team and go, hey, there's an unbelievable opportunity in front of us to be a really good football team, better than people think that we're going to be. Probably surpass what our potential maybe would allow. And to live in the future. You know, we talk to our guys all the time about what's next play. We can't dwell on a mistake, you can't dwell on a bad game, we can't dwell on a bad year. You know, what I've found is success is not a linear line. It's kind of, there's some peaks and valleys, and we just talked about it as a team yesterday. The real moment of truth in life, as a football player, as a student, as a husband, as a father, whatever, when you get to a valley, you rebound and go back up, or you just keep going down. But those are your pivot points, and those are the points you look back at life on and probably have the most satisfaction. At least I know I do at life. I can look at some of the low points and go, if it weren't for that, you know, this wouldn't have happened. And I think hopefully our guys in our program will be able to look back and say, hey, if it weren't for that dip there, you know what, we wouldn't be able to achieve what we're achieving right now. So it's a pivot point for us, and I think these guys understand that. That means that, you know what, you better be tough, you better find a way, and you better rebound off the floor. Yeah, I think if we meet our potential, you know, if we can walk at the end of the day and go, you know what, we play as good as football as we can, regardless of how that little oblong ball bounces and you know, if they go our way or don't, but we can at least look and say, we showed up every day, we were prepared, we played as a team, we won together, we lost together, we execute as well as we can. If we do that, we'll be okay. And I think one of the things that these guys mentioned in our different small group leadership pieces is they want to be able at the end of the year to say, you know what, we enjoyed playing with each other. But, you know, and ultimately that's what this game is about. Obviously we want to win football games, but it's the relationships that these guys build. It's the experiences they have that last longer than, you know, the season. And so they want to walk out of here and say, that was a great experience. You know what, we added value to each other. We helped others become their best self. We walked out some great memories and some great relationships.
That's all for our MSUM halftime news break. Be sure to get all the updates on everything Dragons at MSUMDragons.com or download the all-new MSUM Dragons app today. We'll be back with more Dragons football with Steve and Don right after this. Today's Dragons Live coverage is brought to you by Matt Buss, Midco, Moorhead Public Service, Papa John's, Pepsi, Sanford Health, State Farm agent David Eggers, and Minnesota State University Moorhead.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit MSUMDragons.com/swim for more information. That's MSUMDragons.com/swim.
Welcome back to Scheels Field at Alex Nemzik Hall in Moorhead, where the Dragons lead here on opening night by the score of 14-3. Let's take a look at our first half stats. This is Herman Gray, the Herminator. 53 yards on the opening drive, and the Dragons are on the board. Then Minnesota Crookston will come back late in the quarter. This is McLemore hitting a 21-yard field goal, capping off a drive. I was curious, Don. I thought they might have gone for the touchdown. This is Bryce Meal lobbing one up. Jake Richter hauling it down. Boy, if that kid can do that, then the Dragons are in for something special on offense. And this is one of the Achilles heels of Minnesota Crookston, and that's the turnover bug. That turnover right there did not kill them. The Dragons would punt it all the way down to the 1-yard line and then capitalize. Bryce Meal, his first touchdown to Jake Richter with 35 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Dragons had the lead here by the score of 14-3. And other than Herman Gray on the first possession, right? What else has impressed you about the Dragon offense?
Well, they're getting the ball downfield. Bryce Meal delivering the ball. A couple mistakes. Lucky they were not picked off. But most of his reads have been spot on. So, you know, guys are going to be catching the ball a little bit more from him. Let's see what the second half brings for the Dragons. Offensively, though, Bryce has dealt a good hand out there right now.
It's not all Bryce. The offensive line doing their job.
Very good job.
It's like you said, feet wet. How about the Dragon defense? 3 points so far is good. Is it going to be good enough to win?
Well, they may have to hold them down. The Dragons are going to have to score at least 2 more touchdowns. And then I'll see a safety net there, because they might give one up to Scott. He's that athletic. And Stewart, those two guys can break a long one if the defense gets a little overzealous. Now, late in that first half, used the timeouts correctly, did it all right to get the ball back and be able to score again on the Golden Eagles. Dragons did all that well, but a couple of those plays, had there not been a bad snap, Lord knows what Scott, the quarterback, he's that athletic. If he gets flushed, he can make things happen.
If Minnesota Crookston can clean stuff up and get the ball to Rod Stewart, I firmly believe they can get back in this football game.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, they can score points. They can put up some yards. You look at the passing, though, their quarterback, Scott, 4 of 6, 34 yards, his long of 12. And then Stewart.
Not much.
No, he's in check right now, and the defense has done a really good job.
14-3 is our score here at the half. We're back with more right after this. You're watching live coverage of Dragons football, presented by DragonsLIVE.
This is Dragons Live.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise. The promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Liddy here with another lesson.
Okay, gotta make a list. Pay cable bill, research car insurance rates, get groceries. And my student loan payment is due next week.
You look stressed. If you're worried about money, try riding that bus.
There is a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
Beautiful night here at Scheels Field at Alex Nemzik Stadium. Growth keeps talking about the cloud cover. I think it's perfect, considering the last couple opening nights we've had here. It's been 95-some degrees. Concordia, St. Paul, and Sioux Falls. That's a good football game down in Sioux Falls, 14-14. Minnesota State Mankato, Don, as you continue to learn more about the NSIC. That's the #1 team in the country. Winona is still good under Tom Sawyer. That guy is the dean of all NSIC coaches. He's been here since '96, which is even before me. Augustana and Upper Iowa, like we mentioned, will play Saturday. Bemidji State at home, leading Northern 17-3. Wow. How about that? 7-0 Mary down at Husky Stadium in the third quarter. Duluth doing what we thought Duluth would do up at Minot. How about that Mary St. Cloud score?
That's a surprise. To me, I think that's a surprise. Now, you also have to look at what Mary has done the last couple of years. They've been grooming a whole bunch of kids. There's a big group of kids that graduated high school in 2015 and 2016 that are now coming of age, and they have some size, they have some speed. I don't know who their quarterback is right now, but I'll tell you what, they're not scoring a lot of points, but defensively they must be solid.
It's 13-7. We just got an update from Alex. 13-7. Mary leads it. This is the point that they're in the football game over a powerful St. Cloud State is supposed to be thinking national playoffs. Mary has a brand new head coach. You want to talk about good quarterbacks in this league? Oh boy, their head coach, Craig Bagnell. That guy could put points up on the board 10 years ago. Really, really good. Next week, I'll be out in Duluth. That's a 6:05 start. 6 o'clock start is when we'll probably go on with internet audio only, and then Don will rejoin me 2 weeks from Saturday. Boy, that looks like a tasty football game. The Wolves and the Dragons, 3 o'clock, 2 weeks from Saturday, and then I'll go back on the road to Bismarck, and then, yes, to Fayette. You want to come with me?
Oh, Upper
Fayette.
Iowa.
It's only 7 hours one way.
I've never been there.
It's a treat.
Well, there you go. Maybe.
It's the upcoming schedule presented by the Shuck Bus Service. Mark Shuck, thank you very much for all you do for Dragon Athletics. 14-3 is our score here at the half. Yeah, the clouds are still here. I still think it's beautiful. We're back after this.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Dave Eggers at 218-233-1334 today.
Heading to Fargo Moorhead to get away and have a little fun? Book your room at the highly rated Microtel Inn & Suites. It's conveniently located just off 8th Street and I-94. Clean rooms and all the amenities you need to relax and recharge after a fun day out. Plus, when you wake up, you can enjoy a free hot breakfast. What are you waiting for? Book your room today at the Microtel Inn & Suites in Moorhead. Call 218-284-4022 or visit microtelmoorhead.com.
There's head coach Mark Duffner for Minnesota Crookston. How do you think the Golden Eagles, we talked about the Dragons, and probably we should because we have Dragon shirts on. How do you think the Golden Eagles played in the first half?
Honestly, I have to believe that Coach Duffner's got to be happy with a lot of things. They need to take care of the football, obviously, but considering he has a backup quarterback playing, Scott's doing a fine job. And defensively, they only gave up 14 points to the Dragons. That's not a bad first half.
Again, if they had some stuff lined up, not the stars being aligned, but if they had a cleaner first half, they might be winning this football game.
Yeah.
And I think that's a concern for Steve Lockway. I think he knows that.
Yes. And again, like at the beginning of the game, Dragons here in the second half are going to have to start fast and put points on the board.
Well, they're going to kick the ball off into the wind. You got Rod Stewart, who showed how fast he was on that kickoff before. The Dragons have done a sensational job taking care of him. Stewart and Scott, that's got to be the elixir for victory defensively. Right now, I think the Dragons need to come up with a stop.
Oh, right away. If they can go 3 and out here on this first and then get the ball back and score right away here in the third, that will be, really I don't want to say a nail in the coffin, but it could be a precursor.
Here's Stewart from his own 18-yard line. Down he goes. Good coverage. That's Derek Porozinski out of Park Rapids, Minnesota. That's Lakes football, right? Park Rapids?
Park Rapids,
That's
you bet. It's Central Minnesota. It's great
good
football. Yes. Good coaching out there. A lot of real good football guys across the area in our region, and I know that Coach Lockway has done a great job of recruiting those guys within 110 miles of this place.
Boy, they just did a WDAY, the mothership, did a story on Peter Natz, just one of the underrated coaches in this area out in Hawley, and of course, stepdad to Drew Sanis, who just graduated. Just unbelievable stuff. Good to see. Is Hawley ever not good? Are they going to get a delay? I know they're trying to drain the play clock, but the play clock's not even running.
Well, that doesn't help them at all. Not one bit. I don't know what the coaching staff over there was thinking about. They had the whole halftime to figure out what they were going to do on offense coming out here in the first series.
So here we go, 1st and 15. Stewart in the slot to the right. Now he's in motion. Handoff, nothing. Minnesota Crookston going the wrong way.
Right away, defensive line and the linebackers did a fantastic job.
I think
Domick was first in, got cleaned up by Strand.
Strand just got a free lick.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a free lick. 2nd and 18. Just that fast start for the Dragons you were talking about defensively. Scott back to pass. Rolling, and now he's going to run. This guy is electric. He's going to go down, and he picked up about 15 yards. Boy, when he gets his wheels under him and he gets in second gear, he's pretty athletic.
And he didn't get a chance to turn it into third gear.
Right.
He was having to elude guys. He is so athletic that he's able to make room for himself.
Scott back to pass. Under duress again, and he'll get sacked. Just too much pressure. I think Hunter Sal was one of the first in for the Dragons.
That whole defense right there, they just held up everybody on that front line.
Yeah, Domick, I think, got in there again. Where? There's Sal, but he got grabbed before.
And Domack will get credit for that sack. You bet.
But I mean, just no time. No time. None. Here's Day again. A wobbler. Sweep. Zach. Hit and finished. Well, he took a couple good wallops.
And a shoe went flying.
Yeah, that shoe. See, Beth Hull's going to pick it up. Now she's going to have to toss it into the wind to Zach Sweep and completed it. So we know that Beth Hull from Valley News Live can.
She can chuck it.
She can chuck the shoe.
Right on.
So it'll be
with a camera in hand too.
It'll be multitasking. So it's first down for the Dragons from their own 27-yard line.
Again, fast start needed by the Dragons.
Low snap again. Simons, nothing, maybe one. Promotional Solutions is a collection of marketers, creators, designers, finance guys, and fangirls with a passion for good products and design. Every day they strive to liven up their namesake by creating awesome promotional solutions. Go to promotingus.com. Did he make that catch? They're going to say no.
Trap on the ground. Yeah, when he spun around, the ball just went through his left arm, right through the elbow. We'll see it right here. He comes back, but the ground helped him make that grab.
Casey Henderson making the call. 3rd and 9. Minnesota Crookston brings 6. Meal still with time. Complete. How did Jake Richter come up with that one? Richter might go all the way. He'll get taken down at the 5-yard line. Remember, there is a flag on the play. We'll see if this 66-yard play holds up. Nobody's running the other way, so I think it's pass interference against Minnesota Crookston at 66 yards.
66 yards, and Jake Richter boxed his guy out, and that's why you had the pass interference, because he was getting shoved by that cornerback.
I think Ollie Alcatib was thinking 6 the other way instead of whacking the ball down.
Oh, yeah, coming right through on that. We'll see the replay right here.
It wasn't Alcatib, sorry. It might have been Anthony Cooper.
Then we see Will Cole make a touchdown-saving tackle, chasing Jake Richter down.
So it's 1st and goal for the Dragons from the 6. Bad snap. Meal finds it, and this is going to be a loss of 20. Well, we've seen a lot of low, sloppy snaps tonight on both sides. Great job by Neal. He wasn't thinking about picking up that football. He was thinking about
protection.
Yep. No turnover.
Go down, cover that thing up, live to play another down.
So the old 2nd and goal from the 26 job, huh?
What play do you call on that one?
Neal got swatted. Devontae Newtall with his 2nd big hit. Meal lost another yard, so I don't know if 2nd and 26 worked. So what do you do on 3rd and goal from the 27? They're on the wrong way.
Yeah, we're minus yards and minus yards again. Offensive line should have made some adjustments at halftime, and right now they're getting chewed up by this defensive line.
Knee-high snap. Neal's got some running room. Neal's not going to go down quietly. He got to the 16-yard line, and that brings up an interesting 4th down. This would be a 33, 34-yard field goal into the wind.
Yeah, into the wind. Maybe go for it.
Here comes Chesvold.
Well, there you go.
Chesvold said I'm 0 for 1, but give me another try, even though this is into the wind.
We all know he has a strong enough leg. He's had length.
I hated kicking into the wind. It's just a mind game. It's
there
like teeing off into the wind. If you hit it squarely, it's going to go. Certainly has the leg. Oxendorf, the punter, is the holder. Oh, he's got plenty of leg. And he got it through. Chesvold hits from 33. 10-16 remaining third quarter. The Dragons are now up by 2 scores.
From the time you were little, bouncing off the walls, you were told, go do something. And so you did. Then one day you found yourself in a cap and gown. Now, go do something was an invitation. Or was it a challenge? Go with Midco. We connect you with powerful, innovative technology. That's the start. Your drive and vision do the rest. Go do something. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. You and Midco. Let's go.
Tonight's Red River Rivalry, say that 3 times fast, game is sponsored by State Farm agent David Eggers. He has been a terrific sponsor of Dragon Athletics. He's at a lot of the basketball games, sponsoring football games. Give him a call, 218-233-1334. Thank you, David Eggers, for all you do supporting Dragon Athletics. 7 plays, 57 yards, and I think Joe Chesvold talking Steve Lockway into giving him a shot.
Yeah, he wanted that. He wanted that ball, and he wanted to kick it into the wind and show the coach that he has the leg.
From the 24, Stewart. Rod Stewart down at the 36. Let's go downstairs and let's talk to Alexis Kennedy again.
Hi guys, I think if you remember in the first half, Grady Bresnan, that big hit on the return, he is actually out now, has his sweatshirt on over his head, assuming that they pulled him out for concussion problems. Guys?
Alexis, great work. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's been some big licks this game.
Well, in that one, just protocol. It's early in the season. You don't want anything to linger on and be terrible, so get Grady out of there. That's a smart move by the staff.
And what we don't know is whether he's forced out. So is it precautionary or other? There goes Scott. Just swallowed up. He'll lose 6.
Steichen just all over him on that. He got rid of his offensive lineman in front of him and walked right in on the quarterback. Tried to strip the ball too.
Minnesota Crookston's going the wrong way again. 2nd and 16. Maybe Jeremy Newman, who was a scratch, he was supposed to start this game. Maybe he's thinking, you know what? I'm better off with a sweatshirt on. Sure, Scott's a competitor. He'll give it to Evans. He won't get much. It'll be 3rd and 14.
And these running backs, Todd and Evans, they're both solid running backs. They've got good movement. They pick their feet up. They put them down.
They run north and south.
Oh, yeah, they're strong. They're just not allowed any room right now.
There's Grady Bresnahan standing next to Connor Schultz. The flag is down, and are they going backwards again?
Offsides. Defense number
No.
52. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Huh.
I'm going to guess that he lined. Yeah, I think he lined up in the neutral zone, and that's what caused that one. He got antsy.
Yeah, he jumped. So it'll be 3rd and 10. Two receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Here comes 4. Scott. He's going to go down again. He was initially hit by Hunter Sal. And it's 4th down. Minnesota Crookston just has no answer offensively.
No, and Hunter Sal and Woods Steichen both just overpowering their men in front of them and really, really putting the pressure on Scott. No chance for him to even scramble out of there.
No, it's Dragons in your face all the time. Day, that's a beaut. And it goes out of bounds for good measure. Arguably the most valuable player for Minnesota Crookston.
And last year he had, 30 inside the 20 and 20 punts inside the 10. He also, to his credit, last year had a 77-yarder. Just ridiculous. I mean, when he's got perfect weather, he's kicking the ball all over the place.
And I'm not picking on Minnesota Crookston. I'm not picking on him.
No.
I'm just saying he gets a ton of opportunities, just like Rod Stewart does in the kick-off game, just because the offense isn't moving the ball like tonight. Here's a run. Well, that's Zach Simons. Those are hefty yards inside the tackles, but I'm just saying, Day's a great kicker, great punter. I mean, he gives his team a chance,
well,
at least.
And he places the ball in certain areas.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's what makes him valuable, because in the game of football, field position, I would imagine plenty of games that could have been quite different in scoring for the Crookston Golden Eagles had he not been their kicker and their punter. He's put us in a couple of holes, put the Dragons in a couple of holes already tonight. You know what I just set you up for? Some more of that punter love. That's punter love. We're deeply breaking down the punting game as Simons picks up the first down. Well, this is my kind of broadcast. Well, I don't know about digging it or
punter love.
Well, it's important though. The game of football at any level, it doesn't matter. High school, college, pro, it's field position, because that determines what you're going to do on defense or on offense.
Simons again, pulled down from behind.
We can
Skylar
see a
Quinn
little.
Got him. Don, I'm being dead serious when I think about this. I don't know what our electrifying play of the game's going to be, but I firmly believe Herman Gray run was important. I firmly believe that punt by Oxendorf, pinning Minnesota Crookston down at the half-yard line, is the biggest play of this football game.
Right.
That's more punter love.
Exactly.
It's 2nd and 10. Meal throws, complete. Oh, he hits Zach Sweep on the fly. First down, 15 yards. Meal on the button to sweep.
And that's what Zach Sweep brings to that slot receiver position. Is he's also a track guy, right? So he runs really well. He can catch the ball like a tight end. He's that size, or close to that size, but he came all the way across the formation to make that grab.
Here's Simons again, breaking a tackle, cuts inside, gets slammed once, twice, 3 times. A flag is down, and I think Minnesota Crookston, Joe Warner was just telling Jim Hardy what to call. Let's see if Jim Hardy obliges.
Holding. Offense, number 73.
He does.
10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Ethan Gerbig, a sophomore left guard at 262. He's still building. He's still growing into himself. Is that what you call it?
You got to call it growing into himself.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Growing into that size and that position. 260 is not big for an offensive guard in this offense. But he probably didn't hold all that long either. Just a few seconds.
What do they say? You can call holding on every play?
You could. Maybe.
First and 20. Meal wants to put it up. Swing, far side. For Herman Gray, is this? No, it's incomplete. It's good to see Herman back in the football game. I think this is just a Herman, you get the first couple series, then we go with Zach Simons, and then now Herman Gray's back. It might just be rotation is why we didn't see Herman.
No, and I think so. And I mean, Herman had over 112 yards, or had 112 yards on 12 carries in the first half, rushing the ball. Here they try to swing pass, break him out a little bit. Yeah, we're going to see him a little bit, but I don't think we'll see him the whole second half.
Incomplete. Trent Marquardt and Meal were not on the same page. Fortunately for the Dragons, Anthony Cooper kept running with Marquardt, or Anthony Cooper would be celebrating in front of Chad Markinson, who's standing near the end zone.
I would say, there was a lot of green between the end zone and Anthony.
3rd and 20. Here at the 6.5-minute mark, third quarter, gorgeous opening night. It's a free play. Crookston was offsides again. Meal firing. Out of bounds. Another flag just went down. There might be multiple infractions against Minnesota Crookston, as I think Meal got hit. Yep, I think Meal got hit late.
That's my guess. I, of course, moved on with the ball downfield. Bryce throwing a home run ball on that.
He knew he had a free play.
Exactly. That's good heads-up play by a veteran guy that's been around this program for 3.5 years.
Offside, number 31, will be fine. Personal foul, roughing the passer.
There it was. Personal foul.
15 yards, automatic
Roughing the
first down.
passer.
Devontae Nuttall. Mark Duffner's out on the field. I'm not convinced he agreed with that call. That's a 3rd and 20. That's that cleanup stuff that I mentioned at halftime. If this team can clean some stuff up, they're going to they could beat somebody.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I think they have talent. They need to put it all together in a nice, pretty box.
Gray refusing to go down. And now he gets thrown down late.
No flag should be there. Our guy was blocking all the way through that play.
I agree.
That
Joe Warner again. I agree.
Well, and Tyler
Lazar's, yeah.
Lazar's was just driving his man right through him, and that's the guy that was helping to push Herman Gray out of bounds. So, yeah, there's no penalty there.
We gave punters their love. How about the officials?
They're
They've
doing a
been
good
perfect
job
so far. Yeah, that's correct. No call.
The Hardy Boys, as you said.
The Hardy
earlier.
Boys, terrific NSIC officials. Good guys too.
This is a good crew. Very good crew.
Gray, a yard. This will set up 3rd and 4.
Again, just a little.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Don. Go ahead.
Little zone read off. You know, these run plays are designed to hold the linebackers, and if the linebacker moves out, then you give or you keep it, and you can look to the outside. Or Bryce has options on this, but it's a read. You know, zone blocking up front. So easy offensive plays.
This is Will Cross who's down. This doesn't look good. We'll take a break.
Get everything Dragons in the palm of your hand with the MSUM Dragons mobile app. Available now for all your mobile devices. Get the MSUM Dragons mobile app today or check out msumdragons.com/mobile app for more information.
This broadcast is copyright Minnesota State University Moorhead and presented by Dragon Athletics. All rights reserved.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Get fired up for the new Shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from Shop MSUMDragons.com.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Tonight's
Red River Rivalry game.
He can do it, and sponsored by State Farm Agent. I was trying to twist your tongue. David
Red
Eggers.
River Rivalry.
Thank you very much, David Eggers, for all you do. This is a pretty serious scene out on the field. Will Cross is down, one of the talented linebackers that Don and I have been raving about all night long. Keith Weidrich, you can see him the one to the far left, and the man to his ahead of him is pumping. Is it an air cast or an air splint? So this is not good.
No,
as he is down, and
you just hate to see this at any level.
Of course,
any level of football, players and injuries. But every player that has ever been on the field knows that the opportunity, or that there is a threat that you might get injured, and but you hate to see it, and especially the first game of the year for a guy that could easily be a all-conference linebacker coming out of Crookston.
Yeah, it's his left leg, and like you said, he popped up for just a moment, and then he went right back down. He's in distress, but the great thing is he's in good hands. Keith Weidrich, the Dragons trainer, is over there, as well as Sanford Doctor, so it's good to see that he will be in good care. It's now easier than ever to watch the Dragons on your TV with the Dragons app for Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Android TV. No more AirPlay, clumsy cords, or small screens. Stream all live and on-demand games of DragonsLIVE episodes right from your TV and home. It's simple and easy. Get the Dragons app for Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Android TV today. You see these serious injuries all the time, Don, and you played the game much higher level than I did. Now you got to get back out there and try to blast the guy in front of you again as they're going after Meal. Bryce diving for the first down. He got right to the 45-yard line. That's close.
Yeah, he could be. They haven't given it to him yet. I think they may have to. Nope. Mr. Hardy says first down. I thought they might have to measure that. Yeah, now Will Cross, he's a junior. It's the first game of the year. New NCAA rules. You've got a 4-game rule piece at all levels, I believe. And so I would imagine that he can probably get his eligibility back for this year. And who knows?
Yeah, we certainly don't know the extent of his injury. We just
Right.
know that the air splint was put on him, and we wish him the best. Pass on the near side incomplete. Another flag on the field.
Now things getting a little sloppy.
Yeah, it's chippy. Yeah, it was another personal foul, roughing the passer. So, I mean, I understand why this is frustrating for Minnesota Crookston. I mean, I don't know how many of the 19 games you saw prior to this one. I know you did the first one with me when the Dragons lost 17-0. Meal throws, incomplete, sweep. Knew he was going to get belted and drop the ball. But, I mean, Crookston knows they can beat the Dragons no matter how good the Dragons are. It's just that kind of rivalry.
And they have to play a perfect game. And this team, I think, can get better during the year. And I know the Dragons are going to need to get better this season, up front on defense and offense. And that's just it right there. Both teams need to build on the positives and continue to work hard.
Simons went down hard and awkwardly. He got taken down by Austin Steele.
Simons is a load, though. He's about 220 pounds. What, 6 foot, 220, and he runs hard. Not breakaway speed, but he runs hard.
And then you got Denver Colgrove as well. Two guys that you don't want to be in front of. This is Colgrove. Denver blasting ahead, but he'll get taken down shy of the first down. That was Julian Jackson once again. So this is 4th and 6. Now I know Chesvold has a leg. He hit from 33. I don't know if they're going to give him a try from 43 against the wind.
No, I don't think. I think they're going to go for it here. 5 wides.
Empty backfield. 3 wide on the left-hand side here at the 4:15 mark. 4th and 6. Another free play for the Dragons. Meal to the end zone. Incomplete. I know you want to get to the quarterback, Don, but there's the discipline factor.
Well, it was fourth down.
Number 48, 5-yard penalty.
Amazingly, that's only the 7th accepted penalty against Minnesota Crookston. I feel like there's been 7 penalties on this drive. It's honestly,
wow.
There's been 3 offsides, 2 roughing the passers. This has not been pretty.
No,
I know, not pretty.
It's been a really slow start to this second half, even though the clock is ticking away. 11 minutes are gone.
4th and 1. Dragons still need to get the first down. They're going to get it. Simons thinking about more. Simons refusing to go down until he goes down at the 11-yard line. That's some hard running.
And that is what I remember Dragon football and the running backs. Lowering the shoulder, smash mouth football in the NSIC.
And now this. I just... You know, you take 2 steps forward and a step or 2 backwards.
You get that first down at the 11, and now we're back out to the 23. Steve, it's kind of one of those things in a balance. You take the good with the bad when you're running out of the shotgun all the time. That ball has to be snapped perfectly every time.
This is Colgrove. He'll get snatched up by Austin Brown out of Moreno Valley, California. This will bring up 3rd and long. I do know this, Don. I've been around this league a long time. This ain't going to fly next week in Duluth. The Dragons are asking for big, big trouble.
Yes, the Dragons will have to clean things up and raise that level of play if they want to compete next week.
Compete.
Compete.
We're not talking about winning. Compete. 3rd and a long. Dragons need to get to the 2. Meal. He's going to get taken down at about the 24-yard line. Austin Brown once again. This will bring up 4th down. Does Chesvold get a 40-yard try? It's still a two touchdown game. This game's not over.
No, it's not over. There's 17-plus minutes left in this game. There's at least 2 to 3 more possessions for the Golden Eagles. 4 maybe.
4th and 22. Meal again with the empty backfield. In trouble, throws off his back foot. It's incomplete. It probably behooved Trevor Long Jr. that he didn't intercept that ball, right?
He
wanted it.
He
but
did.
It would have been the worst thing that could have happened for Minnesota Crookston because now the Golden Eagles get the ball at the 26 instead of the 2.
Exactly. Inside the 5 would have been not a good thing. That's for sure. And it went right through his hands. And even though he wanted that, it came out to their benefit anyway.
Rarely will you hear a coach say, thank you for not intercepting that.
Right.
All right, let's see what the Golden Eagles can do on offense from their own 23-yard line. They trail 17-3, 2:14 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Scott, pitch, near side, some running room for Todd. He'll pick up a few and get shoved out of bounds, and another flag. Boy, this was almost a penalty-free first half, and now, whoa.
No, this has been an ugly 3rd quarter. Absolutely ugly.
And once again, I know ugly.
Yeah.
I live it.
Well, both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively for the Golden Eagles, more offensively for the Dragons. Remains to be seen on the defensive side, but here, just everybody has to clean things up. I know it's the first game, but you really need to be cognizant of everything out there. You've been practicing for at least 3 weeks. You got to be sharper than this.
This is a chop block, so now Minnesota Crookston is inventing ways to go backwards, right? They just had their first positive gain in maybe this 3rd quarter, and it's nullified by an illegal chop block, so it's the old 1st and 19. Scott out of the pistol. He actually had some time. And the receiver drops the ball.
Tight end on a flare. Just released out there, was all alone. It hit him right in the hands.
Richard Cobble. He had some running room, too. I don't know if he would have gotten the first down, but he could have gotten a big chunk of the yardage back.
Oh, he was going to get 10, 12 yards back on that. Big target, about 6'6".
2nd and 19. Scott going to keep it. There's Darius Wood-Steichen again. Chops him down at the 15-yard line. It's 3rd and long.
Along with DeAndre Taylor, who shoots a little gap there.
Oh, that's all Wood-Steichen. That's a good one-on-one tackle. And then he looks at him. I don't know if I love that play or not. You just look at the guy. Yep. 3rd and a long way. Scott flushed, throws, intercepted. Wood-Steichen.
Taylor.
Oh, I'm sorry, DeAndre Taylor. DeAndre Taylor puts the Dragons in business.
Sat back in a zone, surveyed the field.
Just a poor throw.
Well, and Taylor just stepped right in front of it. He kind of baited him into that throw.
Dragons only had 5 interceptions last year. DeAndre Taylor did not get one of them. Only Jerry Ray and Grant Ryer, who are playing tonight, had one. This is Simons. Hit, but not down. Simons now wants the end zone. He'll get it. Touchdown, Dragons. It's 23-3.
Like a bull in a china closet there. He was not going to be denied. Nice run by Simons.
So here at the 111 mark, the Dragons extend this to 23-3.
Again, just a really hard runner.
Chesvold's extra point headed towards the kids is good as you take a look at Zach Simons after his first touchdown. 24-3, the Dragons lead it with 1:11 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
This is Dragons Live.
First thing I do every morning when I get up is look out the window and see what the sky is doing. The neighbors kind of all know I'm into this, so I'll get calls or texts saying, oh, there's 2 eagles in the trees over here. I have a lot of relatives who live in other parts of the state, and they see them on TV, and it always kind of makes them feel like they're connected. Keep an eye on the sky and be ready. You never know what might show up.
Bet you that guy feels a whole lot better right now, Don.
I'll tell you what, 24-3 is much better than 14-3.
I think he knows he's got a lofty job ahead of him the next 9 days, but he feels a lot better in the moment.
Yes, agreed.
This is Stewart again. He'll just drop it out of bounds. Oh, did he drop it? No, the flag comes in. He held his hand out. Maybe he didn't touch it.
No, it sure looked like he touched it.
Yeah. That's what Zach Sweep's saying.
That line judge was behind the play coming up from the 10-yard line to the 25 where the ball is marked. I believe he touched it, so they're going to call it out of bounds and a first down right there at 24.
The free kick was by the receiving team in bounds, muffed the ball out of bounds. The ball be spotted at the spot.
There's no mystery about these Hardy boys.
They're picking that one up.
They know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is again. Come on, Rod.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, right off the right hand.
Yeah, it definitely hit him.
from the 25-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for the Golden Eagles, who have just 3. Run straight at the middle. Positive yardage. That's Evans. He'll pick up 2 or 3. These Golden Eagles will host St. Cloud State next week. If St. Cloud State loses to Mary tonight at home, I feel sorry for Minnesota Crookston next Saturday.
Holy cow. Yeah, that would not be a good opener at home.
Scott doing what he's doing all night long. Somehow got rid of that ball and incomplete. That is maybe the best incompletion you're ever going to see, because that guy's been under duress all night long.
And he was chased out of there, and it looked like Gerald Smith, freshman defensive end from Boys Town, Nebraska, chased him out of there.
You know who's from Boys Town, who went to Boys Town High School? John Sterner.
And his twin brother.
Yes.
Exactly. Coach Sterner?
Legendary.
Yes, he was.
I don't like to use that word very often. Legendary wrestling coach, assistant football coach, legendary man. This is a free ball. Scott grabs it, completes it to himself. He wants to throw again. That's illegal. It's fun, though.
Yeah. I've seen the quarterback, even in the pros, catch a deflected ball.
Brett Favre's first completion was to himself.
There you go. And I believe there was
Kirk Cousins got one the other night in the preseason game.
Right, and Brad Johnson, when he was playing for Tampa Bay, actually scored a touchdown on one. But I've never seen him then try to make another throw.
So I think this is an illegal forward pass, and that'll be a loss of down, unless they've changed the rules for some reason again. Let's let Jim Hardy do what he does.
Number 5 in the offense. He threw 2 forward passes. 5-yard penalty. Lost it down.
We got it, partner.
There you go.
We're one for
2, because I got the other one wrong.
Well, I blew the interception on DeAndre Taylor, so our batting average is going down in a hurry.
Right, they changed that rule on the remember? Oh, well, you did get that right, though. You said the new rule is the protection rule on kickoffs, and you can fair catch, and it comes to the 25.
I didn't know it, Don. I figured it out. I can do the Rubik's Cube, too, but that's trying to figure out these new safety rules. This is sweep. Zach Sweep gets a big block and upended. There's that track star speed you've been talking about.
And honestly, he can pick him up and put him down with the best of them. When he gets to top speed, he is tough. Plus, he's over 200 pounds.
Whew.
So that's a big train coming at you.
It's a train I don't want to be in front of. Neither did Ollie Alcatee. I think he's ticked off right there because he was thinking that was my chance.
Do you know what? And 71 went low. I think he's going, I should have just done it like those intermediate hurdles that I run. He's a hurdler in track, and I'm sure that's what he's thinking. I should have gone right over the top of that guy.
He stumbled over the last hurdle. Denver Colgrove getting some running time, and that brings us to the end of quarter number 3 for Moorhead. The Dragons lead at 24-3.
The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. There's a place where teaching and learning are transforming lives, where relationships drive deeper, more meaningful exploration and discovery based on mutual respect and trust, where you'll discover who you are and what you can achieve when you head out into the world to make it better. Life is more than a journey. It is a chance to transform.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Fourth quarter underway. The Dragons lead at 24-3 and looking for more. Meal being chased by Ali Al-Khatib, throws, tipped and incomplete. One of the giveaways that we just witnessed downstairs was a fan could win free Buffalo Wild Wings for a year. Now, we've talked about, what is the term, growing yourself out. I would grow myself out and have me some B-dubs every night for a year if I got that promotion. Third and 5. Colgrove.
You could grow right into that uniform.
I have grown
right into that uniform.
But I would grow me some more.
There you go.
Colgrove got 3. It's 4th and 2.
Another hard runner, Colgrove.
Simons, Colgrove, then you got the explosion of Herman Gray. I like the running game.
For sure. 3 different looks, too.
Well, Simons and Colgrove will pound it. Herman, the Herminator, with the speed.
Yeah, and he can go off tackle. He can explode through a small seam and take it like he did tonight, 53 yards for a touchdown. Drop of a hat, Herman Gray can get loose and score.
Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. With the win, this is going to be a 48-yard field goal. Oxendorf the hold. Does he have enough? No. I think he had enough, Don. I think he just pushed it to the right.
It was just to the right.
He's 1 for 3, but he's kicked the ball well.
Right, 33 and a 48-yard attempt. So
that's kicker love. That goes with the punter.
Well, I'm glad that Coach Lockway gave him an opportunity with the wind.
Well, now we know what his capability is with a breeze behind him. It's about 47, 48 yards.
Good snap, good hold. Everything seemed to come together on that.
Special teams have played well tonight for the Dragons.
Yeah, they have. Yep.
I think that's fair to say. Offense, defense. Here goes Todd. He's got some running room. This is Minnesota Crookston's biggest play. Flag comes in. I don't know if someone said something or if Casey Paskey hit him out of bounds.
You know what? Todd just kept running. And he ran all the way down and around and came back. So I don't know that it was a late hit out of bounds on the running back.
It is.
Yep.
You're right. Todd went all Forrest Gump on the far sideline. He's kept running.
Yeah, he didn't get hit. He got pushed out, but he didn't get hit. He must have hit somebody else on the bench.
That's not nice.
No, unless somebody stepped up in your way. It's happened. I do remember.
Minnesota Crookston's biggest play of the night goes 17. Tack on another 15. They find themselves at the 33-yard line. Scott, give, Todd. Same play. Todd loose. This time Paskey's going to hit him legally, but not after he picks up another 18 yards and a first down. Nary, we say, easily Minnesota Crookston's most impressive offensive output of the night.
You've got motion that happens, and then it just is straight off tackle, zone blocking by the offensive lineman up there, a little kick out block, and boom, Todd's able to pick up big chunks of yardage.
There he goes again. Aaron Doan says enough's enough. And now Minnesota Crookston wants another flag. Mark Duffner just threw his headset down as I thought Doan hit him late.
Yeah, well, he engaged him in the field of play. And then the finish on the play, they went to the ground together. So, of course, Coach Duffner didn't see it that way, but he did engage him on the field of play.
2nd and 6. Todd straight up the middle. Paskey hits him again, but he picks up 5. This is going to be 3rd and 1. Now you've got that Dragon defensive pride trying to keep them out of the end zone.
So this offensive line play right now, what a change for the Golden Eagles since the last series of going backwards to now running the ball between the tackles, a little off tackle, but between the tackles, and those guys are really getting a push up front on the Dragon defensive line.
3rd and 1. Now they throw it and whistles. It's illegal procedure against Minnesota Crookston. Again, they get in their own way.
Full start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty.
That's the 17th accepted penalty in this football game, the 10th against Minnesota Crookston. Accepted. There have been declined penalties that we haven't counted.
Yep.
Now they've run the ball right down the middle of the Dragons' throat, and they were going to throw it. I don't get it. And now they do it again.
I'm one to believe simple is better when it comes to offense. And if a defense isn't stopping you, keep running the play. Right, left, right, left, right, left. And they shoot themselves in the foot again, Steve.
They gave it to Todd 3 straight times. And if you include the personal foul, 55 yards on those 3 plays. And now they're throwing and proceeding illegally. It's 3rd, and now you got to throw it, right? It's 3rd and 11. Scott keeps it. Strand slaps at him. He'll pick up 6. It's 4th and 5.
Designed run play for the quarterback. He followed his running back. He faked to him, but he followed him right up the hole after they ran a little motion behind him, so they had a little fake there. But that one was all designed to get Scott loose.
Yeah, he hadn't completed a pass this half. He's 4 for 9 for 34 yards for the game. And he's completed 1 pass to the guys wearing red. It's 4th and 5. The Eagles have to get to the 4-yard line. Scott to put it up. That ball got deflected. It was still caught, though. Touchdown, Minnesota Crookston. There's Rod Stewart. That was special.
You were just saying something a second ago. You said he's 4 of 9 with 1 interception, 34 yards, a long of 12. And if you remember back in the first quarter, Stewart, just like on this play, contorts his body, gets back and looks for the ball and is able to move his hands and make a grab. What a great athlete. He did that on that play that he gained 12 yards on earlier in the game. There he did it for that touchdown.
That was terrific stuff. 24-10. We'll see it tonight on a downtown train.
This is Dragons Live.
You always do this. You had a couple of pops in you and got cocky. Who's up for a game of wing roulette, you said? Because you thought it'd be funny to watch one of your friends get stuck with the hot one. But your friends, they got teriyaki, then spicy garlic, and then Asian zing. And now you're looking at the last one and you're thinking, my God, what have I done?
Boom, he's awesome.
24-10. Remember a couple minutes ago, Don, I specifically asked you think Steve Lockway feels better? How do you think he feels now?
I think he feels a little bit queasy because there's 11 minutes and 41 seconds left. Offense hasn't performed all that well. The Dragons are going to get the ball back, but the momentum right now, the Golden Eagles have grabbed that.
Real short kick. And not a bad return. Dragons will start from their own 39-yard line. I'm trying to see who returned that ball.
Was it 89?
Yeah, it might have been Victor Yang. one of the wide receivers of the future. Either way, he had two hands around the football and ran north and south. That's a good job. Scores continue to roll in. There's a final from the Heartland. 41-28. Tom Sawyer gets a victory. Minnesota Duluth. That'll be a long but happy bus ride home tonight from Minot. Here's Mio giving off Simons. Zach Simons tells Ollie Alcative, get out of town. He'll pick up 23 yards and a first down.
Just get off of me here. That was that's classic Dragon football running back.
Give me some smash mouth.
Don't get in my way.
Go
Get
away.
out of here.
Go away.
I love it.
Meal, low snap again. That's something that's got to be cleaned up immediately. I know you got a new center in Tyler Lazars. It's not all him. It's just this has to be cleaned up. I mean, I understand from a center's perspective. You don't want to snap it over his head. But how many times has the ball been snapped below Bryce Meal's knees?
And honestly, when you're snapping the ball in the pistol or the shotgun area, that distance, it's pretty easy, and it's even easier if you're uncovered. Mm-hmm. If you've got a nose guard in front of your face, it makes you worry a little bit.
Makes you queasy. 2nd and 12. There goes Simons again. Oh, boy. Is he fun to watch?
Oh, yeah.
He gets the ball, and a big boom 4 or 5 yards downfield.
A couple of years ago, Stone, same
Austin
thing.
Stone,
Austin Stone, just put me between the tackles and let me run.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have two hands on that football, and guess what? If I'm not getting positive yardage, then there's something wrong up front.
And if you're in my way,
I'm going to put you down.
You're going to lose, right. 3rd and 8. Meal fires downfield, has sweep. Sweep loses a boot again, but he brought it down at the 6-yard line. Somebody tie his shoe. Beautiful pass by Meal. That was impressive, Don.
Nice protection up front.
Boy, Alcative went right over Simons.
Yeah, but Simons was able to be in the right position to protect that arm. Bryce did not have to worry about delivering that ball and getting hit. He put it right on the money, and Zach Sweep makes a grab.
Sioux Falls survives. They beat Concordia St. Paul 27-24. This is Simons. He'll trudge his way down to the 3-yard line. Minnesota State Mankato, we had a feeling that was going to happen. 49-13 over Southwest Minnesota State.
Number 1 ranked team in the country.
Bemidji, 38-17. The Beavers are going to be good again. The last score we had, there it is. St. Cloud State survives as well. So there were upsets brewing. Meal throws into the end zone, touchdown. That's Richter. And the Dragons are pouring it on. Just a perfect pass to the inside shoulder for a touchdown.
Nice pitch and catch right here from Bryce as he just gets railed. Now look at who's first to Richter. There he is. Bryce Meal. Nice night tonight.
2 touchdowns for Meal. Chesvold on for the point after try. He's had a good night as well. 8:52 left to go. It's the Dragons 31, Minnesota Crookston 10.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
The Dragons' Bryce Meal, 15 of 29, 215 yards, Steve, and one of the best things right now is that 2 touchdowns thrown. Both of those caught by Jake Richter, who, by the way, is leading the category of all the wide receivers and all the receptions. He has 5 for 123 yards.
Chesvold the kick. Rod Stewart from the 3. Runs past Del Brune. Oh, did he get popped by Sweep? Oh, that was fun to watch. Sweep might have hurt his shoulder. Zach Sweep lined him up at about the 25-yard line and then just ran straight at Rod Stewart, lowered his shoulder, and lowered the boom. I'm hoping Alex can put that back in the queue. I don't know if Sweep's feeling all that great right now, but man, oh man, if we can watch. Oh, we just got the tail end of it. But he started at about the 26, 27-yard line, and then he gets 0 to 60. He could do it in a hurry. And you could see him favoring his left shoulder when he came off. That was fun to watch. Just a big pop.
Stood him straight up, too.
Knocked him straight down. Scott lost his lunch, fumbled the ball. Another flag is down. The sloppy play continues. Yeah, there's Sweep making sure that all his teeth are in place, checking out his shoulder. Man, did he deliver a pop.
Right? As a wide receiver coming down. But again, he's 215 pounds. He can lower the boom. Runs at a clip like probably only a few guys on the team can have that head of steam, and then you pack his size on it. I was going to go back to the receptions. Jake Richter on the night, 5 for 123, and that big one from Bryce Meal, 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 24.6 yards a catch tonight.
The only thing that stopped him twice was the end zone. 2nd and long. Scott throws, has a man complete, and a first down. That's Grosvenor again. And that's a first down for, actually that's Jacob Zwig, redshirt freshman of New Brighton, Minnesota. Evans, boy, did he get shouldered down hard. 8 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. If you're Mark Duffner right now, you probably think that the mountain in front of you may be a little too tall to climb with just under 8 minutes left to go. What are you trying to do, get accomplished here?
Positive yardage on every play. Just have a little smoother look.
Not that.
Not that.
Okay.
You need to have some things to build on here late in the fourth quarter in your offensive play and your defensive play that you can take into practice this next week and build for next week's game. So you need positive things to happen here late in the fourth quarter.
3rd and 13 for Minnesota Crookston. Another bobbled snap. Scott in a whole boatload of trouble, and he gets sacked again. There's Wood Steichen. He didn't get the interception earlier. We miscalled that.
No, he did not. That was
but
DeAndre Taylor.
He got a sack.
He did. He's got a couple sacks tonight and a few hurries. I like him. He just never quits. He's got a big motor that just keeps rolling.
Here's Stephen Day again. A sizzler that cuts through the wind. He'll get some roll. And the ball's down at the 43-yard line. That's 36 yards, and against this wind, 36 yards and a 36-yard net. Take it every time.
Exactly. No return on that because the guy back there wanted to pick that ball up was Zach Sweep, and they wanted to keep it away from his hands because he's been.
Yeah, he doesn't need another lick.
No. Well, that, and he's put some numbers up when he's been able to return.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Dragons. They'll keep it on the ground. This is Simons. He's had himself a night. Zach Simons picks up 3. He has 11 carries for 68 yards. He got his first touchdown. Herman Gray's got a touchdown. And the 2 strikes from Meal to Trent Richter. Trent Marquardt, the bottom of your screen. The Dragons are going to keep it on the ground. Another flag is down. Simons is down.
And that
he
play
gets toppled by Jordan Huso.
Sorry about that. That was dead from the word get-go there, right from the snap. Defensive line handled our guys up front. Dragon offensive line didn't have, well, and there's a reason.
Yeah,
I was
Huso was
offside.
offside.
That's why it was blowing up from the beginning. I missed the flag. Apologize for that one. A little more manageable now. 2nd and 2.
Meal pulls it back. Fires downfield. Incomplete. There was bumping downfield as he was looking for Will Rule, sparingly used tight end. But my old partner, Mike Larson, after you left on back in the mid-2000s, called that chicken fighting downfield.
Right? Just hand
having
bumping.
some fun.
Right.
So it's 3rd and 2. Keep it on the ground, get the first down. Simons ducks under a golden eagle. Al-Khatib finishes him off, but not until he picks up a first down.
And he does not, honestly, ever have that ball with one hand. If there's going to be traffic, he has both arms wrapped around that ball. That's a good run by that young man.
Larry Zonka-like.
Hey, nothing wrong with it.
He's in the Hall of Fame for a reason.
I was going to say, Hall of Fame, undefeated season, all kinds of good things.
Another big hole to run through. He'll pick up 4 yards. Clock continues to wind. We're down to 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Come post game, Alexis Kennedy will have a chat with Dragon head coach Steve Lockway. We'll pick an electrifying play of the game. We'll pick a player of the game. We're going to have more fun. Highlights, stats, stick around.
Sounds like fun to me. It's been a great night.
Then we'll get out of here.
Can't tell it's cloudy anymore.
I was just thinking that. It's just dark. 2nd and 6. Golden Eagles show blitz. Simons on the ground. Picks up 4 or 5 more. It's going to be 3rd and short.
This kid is going to be good for the Dragon offense because when he plants his foot and goes north-south, he takes that ball on a little bit of an angle and then plants his foot, turns upfield, and he goes hard. Lower those shoulder pads.
He also got a great seal block that time. 64 Nathan Belisle stepped out to the right, pushed his guy towards the scrum away from Zach Simons. 3rd and short. This is Denver Colgrove. He's going to get another first down. He's going to move the sticks and keep that clock moving.
That's all Coach Lockway wants to do right now is chip it away. Right now, it doesn't matter if you put another 6 on the board. Of course, the guys want to have that clock running, and they would love, of course, to score again. But you know what? We've seen enough. Just pound the rock.
That's what that guy's thinking right there. Steve Lockway on the coaches camp, presented by BSN Sports. 1st and 10, Colgrove. That guy doesn't know anything else but north and south.
Right.
That's why Steve Lockway loves him.
And 2 hands on that ball. Denver out of Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
Dickinson, North Dakota. Tough Western North Dakota kid.
So it'll be 2nd and 7.
Hey, we didn't talk about the new uniforms either. The pants, I mean.
They're white. That's what they should
white,
be.
But do you see down on behind the knees?
Oh, I see that. Some
right?
red.
It's not all ripped up. That's red.
Okay.
With black highlights.
something went wrong and awry in the Dragons line, so Steve Lockway ran and got a timeout. We'll step away. 2:47 left to go. The Dragons are on their way.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
Here you go, Don. Talk to me about them.
No, they're
drop me some knowledge about pants.
Honestly, it's not black; it's gray.
That's
red, gray stripe up there. I'm not sure. I've never seen anything like it. I think it's new age.
I like it.
The classic uniform with the white stripe around the shoulders. A little bit different than what we've seen in the past.
That looks like SMU back in the day, the Pony Express with Craig James and Eric Dickerson.
There you go.
Right?
Red and white.
Or
you
the
bet.
New England Patriots in the 70s?
In the 70s. Add a little blue to that, yeah.
Oh, God, we're old. Here's Simons. He'll get spun down a yard shy of the first down. It's third down. I mean, each week they show up and I just call the game. I just know sometimes it's pretty tough to see, Don, especially at night when they've got the gray on gray with gray numbers.
And
that's
or gray with black and and red
They're
numbers.
Attractive.
Oh,
They're attractive, just tough. This is nice.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. And I'm a classic guy. I like the red jersey, white numbers. I like the white jersey, red numbers. Keep it simple.
3rd and 1. Dragons keep it simple. And they don't get a first down. In fact, they're going to lose a yard. But I think they're okay with that because 40 more seconds might come off the clock.
Oh, yeah. Run another play.
You get a first down, you can knee it, and on to the postgame show. Or another Chesvold field goal try.
I guess so.
Why not?
Hey, it is 4th down. How long is this one?
Oh, this will be 37.
37, yeah. Need a good snap. Need a good hold. And Joe needs a confidence booster right here. I think he's going to pop this one through.
Legendary analysis. 1:15 left to go. It's 34. It's 34-10 Dragons.
2 for 4. Gotta love it.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Ryan Albuquerque hit 2 field goals last year at Northern State. Joe Chesvold just hit his 2nd field goal. That's the first time a Dragon kicker has hit 2 field goals here at home since Jimmy Matson did back in 2009. How's that for kicker love?
Holy cow.
I knew that's why Steve Lockway put him in. Are we going to get to see Rod Stewart again?
Right?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
he
stayed up. He stayed up.
Rod Stewart trying to put on a show. He'll get taken down at the 30-yard line. He is by far, Don. That's why I get excited. Not just because he's my favorite singer. Not that guy. Guy with the same name.
Right.
Just saying that guy right there might be what's the word we used at halftime off the air? The most funnerer?
Most funnerer,
The most funnerer
that
guy
word.
to watch in the NSIC. He's explosive and fun to watch.
And the way that he is able to use his athleticism to, that touchdown catch was remarkable. The catch in the first quarter was remarkable. He made Scott's completion.
Bad passes,
yeah,
yes.
made bad passes, made them completions.
Throwing downfield, incomplete. Off the fingertips of Andy Grosvenor. I think the only question we're going to have the rest of the night is, are we going to see one of my favorite, for this year at least, in the all NSIC names? Yi Win might be my favorite of all time.
Yi Win?
Yi Win, a linebacker from Concordia St. Paul. I want to see if Wyatt K. Shedrick III is going to play wide receiver
tonight
for Minnesota Crookston tonight. It sounds like the law offices of Wyatt K. Shedrick III. Where's Wyatt? That's not him. That's a first down, though. Yeah, Reyes Laura III's up there, but he's no Wyatt K. Shedrick. Come on, Don. Keep up with the program.
Just gotta
Come
stay,
on, rookie.
Just gotta stay with this, don't you?
Under a minute left to go. Throw down the middle. That might have been the best throw of the night. It was complete.
And a great catch.
Yeah, mud.
But a much better thrown ball by Lederick. No, check that.
There's
Reyes Lara III. Yeah, they've got him in at quarterback right now, number 9. And honestly, he's thrown 3 balls, and they have had zip, and they've been in the right position. Right in the right spots. That last ball was thrown up high. His guy was the only guy that could go up and get it.
Connor Schultz comes into the ballgame. There's Darius Woodsteichen, 52. He'll come out. There's a player down for Minnesota Crookston, and while he gets attended to, we'll take a break.
Herbert and Gerberts wants to know, what's your favorite sandwich?
My personal favorite is the Flash. It's got all that meat and that Italian flavor that I can't get enough of.
You know, the first time I was at Herbert and Gerberts, I couldn't decide if I wanted ham or turkey, so I got the Gerf. Got both.
I like the Pompeii because I like chicken salad, but it also has that sweet chili sauce.
Experience Flavor Nation for yourself with the classic, specialty, and signature menus at Herbert and Gerberts with 4 convenient FM locations, 1 in Bismarck and 1 in Grand Forks. Or order online and have it delivered at herbertandgerberts.com.
With everything that happens in a day, it's nice to have options. That's why we're making it easier for you to get news that fits your schedule.
WDAY WDAZ News, first on at 4.
Working hard to bring you more breaking news throughout the region and weather that will impact your area, all at a time that works for you. The first in the region, your trusted team, keeping you informed when you need to know most.
WDAY WDAZ News, first on at 4.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise, the promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Libby here with another lesson.
Okay, gotta make a list. Pay cable bill, research car insurance rates, get groceries. And my student loan payment is due next week.
You look stressed. If you're worried about money, try riding that bus.
There is a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Dave Eggers at 218-233-1334 today.
Heading to Fargo Moorhead to get away and have a little fun? Book your room at the highly rated Microtel Inn & Suites. It's conveniently located just off 8th Street and I-94. Clean rooms and all the amenities you need to relax and recharge after a fun day out. Plus, when you wake up, you can enjoy a free hot breakfast. What are you waiting for? Book your room today at the Microtel Inn & Suites in Moorhead. Call 218-284-4022 or visit microtelmoorhead.com.
Don, I still don't know who this hurt Golden Eagle is, but the doctor went out there and immediately signaled for the ambulance, which is on the far side of the field. Keith Wiedrick ran to the near sideline, close to the State Farm traveling trophy, and grabbed the cart that you could see. This is serious stuff.
It is, and the thing that has me, though, and I think everybody can see out there, that's if they're watching the video here, that he does have movement in his legs. So, but there's something that's awry, and we don't know what it is. So, we're not even sure what number player is that's down for the Golden Eagles. But we feel awful here because, like I said earlier, you know, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt in this game of football. Although we all know the risks that are taken when you step on the field.
Yeah, so a lot of people huddled around a Golden Eagle that we have yet to identify. There's that movement you were talking about, Don, and, you know, we don't want to speculate.
No.
The positive is there is that movement right there. Remind you to stay tuned. Alexis Kennedy will talk with Steve Lockway once this game is over, which would probably be better sooner than later, the way this thing's going. Mm-hmm. And then Don and I will wrap this thing up. Some highlights, final numbers. We'll pick a electrifying play of the game and a newsmaker of the game. So we'll see. We'll take one more time out.
From the time you were little, bouncing off the walls, you were told, go do something. And so you did. Then one day you found yourself in a cap and gown. Now, go do something was an invitation. Or was it a challenge? Go with Midco. We connect you with powerful, innovative technology. That's the start. Your drive and vision do the rest. Go do something. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. You and Midco. Let's go.
Get everything Dragons in the palm of your hand with the MSUM Dragons mobile app. Available now for all your mobile devices. Get the MSUM Dragons mobile app today or check out msumdragons.com/mobile app for more information.
This broadcast is copyright Minnesota State University Moorhead and presented by Dragon Athletics. All rights reserved.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Get fired up for the new Shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from Shop MSUMDragons.com.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
We've identified the player that's down. It was the guy that made the catch, Jonathan Mudd, number 19 for Minnesota Crookston. He's a 6'1" 195-pound junior wide receiver from Gardena, California, made his second catch. Alex Nelson, our director, said while they were looking at replays over in the booth in Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse that he got hit from behind. But other than that, we really just don't know what exactly went wrong, other than somebody immediately identified that this was a pretty serious situation.
Well, and he did make the catch, and he ended up on the ground with the ball, completed the catch, 18-yard reception from Laura, and then all of a sudden somebody, handed the ball up, and now we see what you all see out there, that the medical staff are attending to him, and he did have movement in his legs. That's something that I think, just personally myself, and making no speculations, but when you see somebody's legs moving, it's a little bit of a relief, because you're going, okay.
It takes an ugly word out of the equation for right now.
Exactly, right now. Yes, it takes it out, and then he was laying there and got help right away. So, and I firmly believe that the athletic training staffs, doctors that are on scene, are going to be able to handle this for this young man.
Yeah, you saw a picture. There were a couple ambulances on the far side. There's now paramedics on the field. Chad Markison, John Webking, all the players. I haven't seen a scene like this in such a long time. I mean, it's I think the Dragons are respecting Jonathan Mudd right now, and just hoping that, you know what, he's going to go to class tomorrow. That's the ultimate goal. That's the goal right now, at least.
Oh yeah, that would be everybody's prayer out there, is that it isn't a serious situation. Precautionary right now by the medical staff, making sure that they take all precautions, and then he gets checked out, and we'll all hope and pray that it isn't a serious situation.
If this doesn't stink enough, a kid that could potentially be seriously hurt, what really stinks about this out loud is this game's over. It's 34-10, and there's 43 seconds left, and nobody was trying to hurt anybody else. It just happens. It's part of the game, and it's the ugly part of the game that you don't want to think about, but it's that reality. So when we saw Grady Bresnahan fair catch a kickoff, and we're going, what the? It's because they want to protect everybody, right?
Yes.
It's because they want to protect everybody.
Yep.
And I don't know if Jonathan Mudd was protectable on that play. I think that was just a football play.
It was
from
obvious.
what we're hearing in the booth.
Yeah,
I don't know
obviously
if we have a replay or not,
yeah.
but it's just unfortunate. But there's 43 seconds left, which means once Jonathan Mudd gets put into one of those ambulances, there's probably going to be a knee or two and we're done. Not that we're trying to hurry up. There's Jonathan. Boy, I'd love to see one of those hands go in the air.
His hand is up. I'd love to see a thumbs up.
A thumbs up or something, but.
Yeah. Well, and there wasn't a flag thrown. It was a clean football play. And like I said before, we all know when we took the field, there's a risk. You might get injured. You might injure yourself. You might be in a collision and injure another player. Any of those things, and you hate to see it happen. Nobody wishes this on anyone. And if you're a player and you do wish that, then you're just evil.
You know what I wish? 2 knees and let's do some post game. You know,
and I think we might see that from Coach Duffner.
I think.
Then again, I don't know, but that's my guess, is that we'll have a kneel down situation.
Let's get out of here and let's tend to Jonathan Mudd.
Yes.
And I think that's the proper thing to do, and that's going to be the last play of the game. And we are going to wish the best for Jonathan Mudd, as Mark Duffner is going to wait and watch these final seconds tick off the clock. I can only imagine Alexis Kennedy is standing by with will be standing by with Steve Lockway. So we'll get to hear from Steve Lockway. There comes Mark Duffner. And outcome, football game, that's all great. But and I know what Steve Lockway's saying right now. Don't really care about the final score right now.
Take care of Mud.
Yeah. 34-10 is the final score. So the Dragons win their first game of the season for what? 4th year in a row?
It's a great start.
And let's go downstairs. Alexis Kennedy is with Dragon head coach Steve Lockway.
Coach, we talked about a little bit how young your team is. How did this game highlight some areas that you feel you could improve on with this younger team?
Well, I think, we got some guys, some reps in there, and some was good, some was bad, but I think we got some jitters out. I thought we collectively handled that pretty well, bounced back. Really liked that our defense responded well. Completely different offense from last year, different than what we planned for practice. So for them to adjust on the fly, really good sign of growth for us.
How did that first touchdown by Herman Gray set the tone for the rest of the game?
Well, I think it was really good. We knew we needed to get a good start, trying, especially with so many young guys playing defensively. We could get a little bit of cushion, help them kind of settle their nerves. So that was huge for us. And I wish we would have picked it up a little bit more from there. But you know what? Win's a win, and we're glad with how we played.
All right, thanks, Coach. Steve, Don.
Alexis, thank you very much. Steve DeStacio, Don Groth with you one last time. Yes, it's dark up here in Alex Nemzik. It's bright out on the field where the Dragons just won. It was dampened at the end by the injury to Jonathan Mudd. Your overall assessment of how the Dragons played tonight?
The Dragons had bright spots. They had times that they performed offensively up front on the offensive line, that they did the things that they needed to do, not only to protect Bryce Meal, give him time. You talk about that quarterback in that position. Over the last few years, we've had some tremendous players in there. Bryce, new to that position, not new to the position, but as a starter tonight, named the starter a week and a half ago, did a fine job, and that offensive line has to be commended. They gave him a lot of time, and then the receivers made the grabs for him. That's a bright spot.
There's a lot of things that Steve Lockway has to clean up before we go to Lake Superior next week. What do you think the biggest thing is?
Well, it has to be penalties, has to be recognition on defense. They got a little overzealous against a team that they should have just handled from the get-go and not let the quarterback get out of their reach. I mean, they didn't have a lot of contain. They're going to have to do much better against the Bulldogs up in Duluth defensively. Otherwise, they're going to have a long day. Offensively, I think the Dragons can put some numbers up.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights here. Here's Joe Chesvold. Some more of that kicker love, Don. That's 33 yards into the win. Look at the kids. Looks like the home run derby. This is Scott throwing the ball right to somebody who's wide open. Unfortunately for him, it's DeAndre Taylor, and he'll return it all the way back to the 11-yard line. He was tackled by Rod Stewart. Yeah, and then this is Zach Simons. Look at him running hard. Give me the end zone. Get in. Touchdown. Zach Simons again. This is Rod Stewart. Do you think I'm sexy in the end zone?
He made him look good.
Here's Bryce Meal. That's a pretty good throw, too. The second touchdown to Richter. And then just for good measure, Chesvold. Punch him on through to the end zone extravaganza. The Dragons win tonight by the final score of 34-3. The Dragons finish with 434 yards. Minnesota Crookston 204. Bryce Meal 15 of 30, 215, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Really never put himself in peril. Had a couple tough throws that he never completed. Herman Gray, all of his yards, most of his yards were done in the first half. 14 carries for 117 yards. Jake Richter, we're going to hear more from him in just a moment. The highlights are presented by Midco. Let's pick an electrifying play of the game, shall we? How about, you want to go offense or defense, Don?
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be defense. But
it is. How about this? How about DeAndre Taylor? Give me some. Get out of the way, Rod Stewart. You're one of the best wide receivers in the league, but this one's mine. Tonight's the night. That's number 3, by the way.
For his career.
No. Third Rod Stewart.
Third Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our electrifying
Okay,
play of the game is presented by Morehead Public Service, who reminds you to only run the dishwasher when there are full loads. For more energy-saving tips, log on to brightenergysolutions.com. Saving energy, saving money. You want to guess at our newsmaker of the game?
I would have
You got to hustle.
Oh, I don't even know.
How about Jake Richter? Oh,
There
look at
you
that
go.
catch. Get out of the way. Anthony Cooper, see you later. And then this touchdown-saving tackle at the end by Cross. And then here's the touchdown in the way or on the other side of Anthony Cooper. Jake Richter, 5 catches, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Our newsmaker of the game presented by the Forum of Fargo Moorhead. Call 241-5445 today to get the Forum of Fargo Moorhead delivered tomorrow. 34-10, the Dragons win here. We get to enjoy this holiday weekend, and then a week from Saturday, we'll have an audio-only webcast. Will Larry Scott be with me? Will the streak continue, or will I be by myself? Either way, kickoff for that tilt will be at 6:05. Don, I give you the final word tonight.
Dragons have to clean it up.
Clean it up.
But it's a win, and it's a start off of a new season. 2018 Dragon, 100-year anniversary of football here at the college. Great way to get it started with a win. Like Coach said, a win is a win. We got the first one. So now it's build off of that, build on for the rest of the season.
Pretty fun stuff, isn't it, up here?
I love football.
All right, my man. We'll see
Thank
you.
you.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks for having me.
The executive producer of Dragons Live is John Webby Webking. Tonight's director, Alex Nelson. For everybody at Dragons Live, Steve DeStacio saying so long from Scheels Field at Alex Nemzik Hall. Once again, your final score, the Dragons 34, Minnesota Crookston 10.